What's everyone doing while we're waiting, Brian? Funny. What's up? What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Getting everybody lined up. We figured hop on here. We had a guest on our podcast. We were just recording one of those. The boys are finishing their meals. Got a special guest tonight. We're talking plugs or springers. We're going to talk some other tributary springer stuff. And we got a special guest as well that's going to be chiming in here in just a little bit. But shout out to Stevens Marine, as always, for supporting and sponsoring this live feed. That's what I do for where I go for all my aluminum mercury, all the good stuff. If you guys have boat issues, boat problems, need to buy a new boat, anything boat related, check them out. As always, hashtag blame Clint. As always, yes, it's go to... We always blame Clint here. It is the thing to do. It is the way. This is the way.
No, this was not me.
This is the way.
I was ready.
He was ready. Nope, this was us. They left us with only Cam. Come on, yeah. Sorry, you can turn it off. Go ahead. It's all good. I'm the only sap that will be here just for a minute. What's going on, Marcus? Thank you, Ray Paul, for telling us you tuned in from Wenatchee. Ben says, dude, sunscreen. I'm actually not that red. I think it's more like windburn. But yeah, fishing's been good. It's been nice to fish in the sun a little bit. Yeah, it's been absolutely awesome. It finally feels like springer season. What's going on, athletes angling? Howdy, fellas. BS Creek. What's up, Marcus? We're seeing you guys. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Marlon's going to get some prize packs as always. Yeah, and we're going to get this thing started. It's going to be all springers tonight. And we're going to talk a little bit about plugs. We're going to rehash that. We've got some more plug fishing coming up. We've got Ryan McCon, who doesn't have a microphone on, so he's going to need to get one of those before they can hear you.
Don't turn it on.
I'll just get close to you.
What's going on? Oh, I'm scared. That's too close. That's too close. Too much Ryan. Too much
what
Ryan.
You said before.
Shush. Shush. Jeez. Sheesh. Anyways, Forest Grove, Kelso. All right. Yes. Hi from Bothell, Lake Chelan, Hermiston, tuning in from Cat. Okay. Langley, BC. Got a place. Or see you tuned in on the Cat. Don't really know. Rivers are blown out now. Right now, 90,000 CFS a day. That's right. A little bit of snow melt coming down. Sela, Washington. Yes, sir. Jared from Astoria. Mike Jack talking plug time. Yep. Plug baits, plug hooks. That's what we're talking about. Keep going to the comments there, bro.
Yeah, hang on. I'm trying not to blow everyone's eardrums out.
Oh, gotcha. Screaming at him. Salmon, Idaho. Foley, Alabama. Big Piggy 54. Is that the furthest away? Like, so we're in Washington. Let's just say Southwest Washington State. What's going on, guys? Where's like the farthest? So right now we got Alabama. Don't lie. Come on, like, be cool. I don't want to hear like, oh yeah, I'm from frickin' France, or if anybody even admits that. I don't know. Do people admit to that? I don't really know. You know what I mean.
Fix Cam's microphone.
Alaska, cursed, yeah. We'll be heading up that way here pretty soon. Fix Cam's microphone. Is that on you or is that on them? Is that on me? Is it me again, not putting it in the right spot? Probably me. It's probably me. Okay, we'll do it one time.
Someone said, looks like the fish are finally starting to find the way up the river for sure. It's definitely picked up.
Slowly, but then they crank the water. So that's, I think it's going to, I swear the season's just death by 1,000 cuts as far as actually getting some numbers of fish moving into hatcheries and moving into places. But
I can't complain. It makes it last longer.
I was just
honestly,
say,
if they just come all
they're
at
not
once.
going into the hatcheries and they're not just charging up the rivers, well, that means we get to kill them more.
Longer season.
Yes, sir. Last year, I missed that one. I live in Vancouver with family in Alabama.
How long are you fishing springers this year?
Till June 15th. Till magically they turn into springers on June 16th.
Well, Bonneville calls them summer Chinook after June 1.
Oh, well.
They instantly, overnight, they changed to summer
Either
Chinook.
way, yeah. So I think this year, from right now till the end of October, we will have just the way the seasons are set up, pending something drastic or a drastic collapse in like the Bonneville counts. Like, I feel like we will be fishing Chinooks in freshwater from now till the end of October and probably till Thanksgiving this year.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which is, so the reality is it's not a really bad season. One thing I ran into a good buddy Paul today who does the pike minnow program Works for WDFW. He's at one of the check stations where I was taking the boat out at. They've been open 3 days. So for those of you guys that don't know, you're not familiar from the Northwest, there's a northern pikeman on the Columbia River that there's a program that actually pays you to go kill fish for 6 months. There's guys that make over $100K a year doing this. The third day the Dalles check station was open, he told me they checked in 800 pikemen on day 3.
Give me your
800. He said, and then
working on them already.
Another guy.
Just keep talking.
Another guy came in today to the check station while I was there. He brought in 85 of them. I'm not going to say where it was at, but bottom line is,
good to hear.
He said the pike minnow fishing has just started off like absolutely insane. So if you guys have ever been interested in the pike minnow program, to go onto the Columbia River, help save the salmon, because these fish are extremely damaging to salmon smolts, which is actually quite funny because there's other creatures out there that are extremely damaging to salmon, but we seem to not do a damn thing about it. But anyways, the pike minnow.
I think them cranking the water's probably got them congregated pretty good. And
you must be doing something because those guys are hammering them. And if you guys are also interested in working for the WDFW pike minnow program, there's some requirements, but hit them up. Looking for a job.
Look what Evan said. They should pay people to kill smallmouth. I agree. I totally agree.
I kind of agree too, because I catch plenty of smallmouth, and I can tell you they eat plenty of salmon.
I can also
but the reality is, like,
a smallmouth fishery could benefit from being less.
It really can't exactly. You talk to the guys like way back when that were fishing smallies, 20, 30 years ago, and the bags were much bigger than they are now, and you can tell there's a lot of them. But the reality is that. If you guys are interested in making money while you're fishing, go check out the pike minnow program. Do the pike minnows taste good, Hannah? Probably they're not as desirable. I'm not going to say they don't.
I've heard they're disgusting.
I heard they're disgusting too. But the reality is we don't want to say what's are disgusting to us, but you have to turn them in and check them in, and then they have the fish rendered and taken out of the system. But I think they pay.
Save a salmon, kill a pike
They
minnow.
pay like $6 or so. I don't know what this year is. I don't know what the limits are, but it's like last year. I think it was like $5, $8, and $10 a fish over 9 inches, and guys are coming in and bringing.
Well, it starts out as
there's like
you get a certain amount, then you bump up to the next bracket, then you get more, and then you bump up to the next bracket.
And this year they used to have this really so believe it or not, I actually worked. My first job at Fish and Wildlife was work for the pike minnow program, like 20, 21 years. I don't even know, long time ago. Well, 22 years ago, and. You used to have to go to the station, check in, and then you have to go check back in within 24 hours. Now they have a new electronic app, so you can check in. So you don't have to go to a station and check in, but you just have to show up in the times just to basically drop your fish off.
Yeah,
so really smart. So man, if you guys something,
do they have ways of telling they're from the Columbia River?
Yes, they do have ways.
How do they do that?
I think through genetics. I think through visual stuff, and a lot of times, a lot of the anglers that are very productive, the anglers that are crushing, they're spotted by the other anglers. And back even in my tenure, if you have guys that showed up in the program that would try to game the system, bring in fish from other places, they were on them, because just like fishermen are whining, conniving people, they're watching out there. The pike minnow anglers know the other pike. You know what I mean?
The thing I don't understand though, the thing that doesn't make sense to me is why wouldn't they expand it to the tributaries?
Yeah,
it is funded. I'll tell you why. It is funded by Bonneville Power Administration. And Bonneville Power Administration's jurisdiction is 400 feet up into tributaries and connected waters to the Columbia. So there are some lakes and some backwaters that are actually fair game that is part of BPA's jurisdiction, but it has to do with where those power companies are allowed to do.
Because I know some tributaries where it's disgusting.
It's disgusting, and what's really dumb about it?
I'm sure you're thinking the same one I'm thinking of.
Is a lot of these pike minnow, kind of this time of year, tend to go into some of those tributaries to spawn.
Yep.
And it'd be really nice to target those and spawn. But
I was fishing a local river last year with a buddy during winter steelhead. Mm-hmm. I have never in my life seen so many pike minnow. Yeah. You could look down and the whole bottom of the river was just nothing but pike minnow.
Yeah. I mean,
it was crazy. We caught 10 that day.
I talked to
why do we keep catching pike minnows?
One time, and I was why don't you guys just go in there and electroshock them? You know what I mean? Where the clouds are, especially when they're spawning. They're just big clouds of them. And then just electroshock them, and if there is smolt that they shock, let those go and clean up the tributaries.
Yeah.
people are asking a lot about pike minnow, question lures, where to go. You know what? They have a lot of information on the website, and I'm telling you guys, just go check it out. And if you talk to any of those guys, you talk to any of the program managers, Paul, Eric, they've been awesome dudes that work for the department. They are more than happy to get you guys more involved. So something to think about is really cool. I saw him at the check station today.
Headphones, Clint?
And that's a lot. I mean, that is a lot of fish. Pike minnow addicted episode. We should do one. Like, absolutely. We do a little competition, like how we go out and kill pike minnow. I'd be down, but I mean, it'd be really cool. So
we should. With a catch and cook at the end.
With a catch and cook, we saved one. They saved one. We're letting Jordan cook that. I ain't cooking that.
Well, I'll cook it, but
Jordan
I'm not.
would eat it, and you know what he'd say? Yeah. Oh, it's actually not that bad. Just like he does with smelt. And every other person that eats a smelt, it's like, no, that doesn't taste good.
I took one bite of a smelt one time, and I couldn't do it.
So in the Alaska video that we just put out, it's hilarious because he's like eating the smelt, and he eats them. He's like talking about how good they are, and I get home, and the boys, Colt and Hayden, are like, those are the most disgusting things I've ever had.
Real fast, guys, just for clarity, up north, far west has a great comment here. I just want to add this to the pike minnow, why they kill them. The dams are the reason why they become a problem, and they are. Believe it or not, northern pike minnow, unlike smallmouth and walleye, are actually native to the Northwest. They're native to the Columbia River. The problem is, like most things, once we decided to build dams, we gave the advantage to the pike minnows and took the advantage away from the salmon. So the pike minnow population exploded, and we deteriorated, obviously, the salmon population. Begs the question why we don't do a damn thing about the sea lions. But anyways, moving on past that, believe it or not, they are native. And yeah, the dams upset the balance, which is why BPA funds that program and that project. But there's guys making 50, 60, 80,000 a day a year.
Didn't the guy win like 120,000?
I don't know what like the big thing is.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was over 100,000.
You're not going to go out and make millions doing this, but I tell you, because those guys, I knew some of those guys back in the day, and they put in they're out there 6 days a week, 6 nights a week, like they're getting after it. But
I heard the guys,
but they work for like 3 months, right? And then they just
it's like a 5-6 month season. Yeah.
5.
But the guys that are doing it, they have like 10 rods baited up, and when they get on them, they just drop, and just
Nick Burnell. He says, I eat northern pike, and they're bony but good.
These are not northern pike. These are northern pike minnow. Completely different
fish.
No teeth, no stripes. Look kind of like a sucker with more of a predator mouth, I guess. But check it out, guys. NorthernPikeMinnowProgram.org. Or NorthernPikeMinnow.org. Google it. You guys know.
Cool, please. All right, guys, let's get a prize pack going here to start out.
Yeah, more center pin action, though. Didn't you see the last episode? One episode went really great. The other episode, not so much.
I should have brought some freaking... I don't know why I didn't bring any plugs.
Is there no rod limit? There is a rod limit. Shenpai, you got to obey like the local...
I think they're only allowed to use one rod, but the guys that are getting them have so many baited up because when you're on a pot of fish, they just keep dropping them, bringing them in the boat, dropping them, bringing them in the boat.
I'm not going to say that's not for like connected backwater area. There might be a lake that's connected to the Columbia that's in jurisdiction that you might be able to use 2 rods in that location, but I'm just going to say right now the Columbia River you cannot.
Yeah, and it's not part of the program if you catch them there anyway.
No, it is if it's connected. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later. Anyways, perfect. Oh, there's Clint being a producer. We love Clint. Good job. There it is, guys. Check that out if you want to make some money and save a salmon on the Columbia River. Or you can be like Evan and just kill all the smallmouth, whatever. All right. Moving on. Prize pack giveaway.
Prize pack. All right, guys. One announcement. We do have a special guest going to join us tonight. One of our sponsors is going to join us here. We're going to talk to him for a few minutes. But before we bring him in, let's get a prize pack going. We're going to give away 2 short bus triangle flashers. We got one of the green Twisted Addictions. This is a flasher that Cam came up with about 5 years ago?
Oh, easily.
Yeah, a while ago. Really, really productive, really good flasher. And then we got a Chartreuse Hunter, which is JT from Short Buses.
Those are 2, probably some of the best there is right there.
One, yeah. And then we're going to give you also an Enforcer spinner. So if you want an opportunity to win this prize pack, all you got to do right now, everyone watching, thumbs up the video. I know I'm going to go look on YouTube, and there's going to be only like 10 thumbs up. So everyone, thumbs up the video for us. Share it out there with family and friends, text message, Facebook, wherever you like to share things. Let's get a bunch more people in here. We got a good subject tonight with plugs, with some really, really knowledgeable anglers here that are going to be talking about them. And then drop a comment and let us know where everyone's tuning in from. I know you guys probably already did that in the beginning of the episode, but that's all right. Do it again. the more you comment, the better chance you have to win. So drop a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We'll give you guys until 7 o'clock. It's 6:56 right now. At 7 o'clock, we're going to pick a winner. And then after that, we'll bring our guest in here.
Tony Rutherford with a $5 super chat saying, can you guys do a tutorial on plunking Brad's cut plugs? I think we probably can. I know we've probably added them into tutorials, but what I'm thinking...
I know how to
do
do
it. He's doing it. There's just some... Here's the deal, dude. Let's just be honest. Like, if you just use some takeaways from, like, the basic plunking stuff, you're making sure you have enough lead to hold, you know, a dropper, maybe adding, like, a little bit of flotation inside on the leader. Like, there's some things you can do. It's really not that difficult. I think a lot of times the plunking always comes down to, like, the spot. But maybe we could do
There is some nuances, though, to fishing those cut plugs. Again, I'm not going to say I'm a pro at it because I don't fish those very much from the bank. But I've been with a lot of people that do, and I know how they do it. They fish it similar like you would like a wobbler, but instead of using like the large wobbler floats, they may use just the little smaller wobbler floats, or they may even use a spin glow with the wings cut off.
Yeah, even when I'm back trolling them, I notice they hang up a lot if you don't put that float in the middle. Yeah, even on a diver.
So guys do that as well.
Good insurance policy.
But yeah, we'll work on that. You guys, we've been working on a bunch more tutorials. We've been hearing you guys. We know you want more how-tos and tutorial videos coming to the YouTube channel. So we have some good ones coming. Cam just did a cut plug one, if you guys didn't see, about cut plug herring fishing that we launched probably a week back, maybe a little bit longer than that.
Well, it's not titled cut plug, so I can't tell people.
I did in the title.
Oh, never mind. He did it. Good job.
Yeah, I changed it. I changed
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, no, I changed it. So you guys can go find that on the YouTube channel. But then also we have some good trout ones coming. Jordan filmed some really good spring trout fishing tutorials that are coming very, very soon. So, yeah.
All good.
Okay, 6:58, guys. If you guys are just now tuning in, I see we got a bunch more people that have jumped in. If you guys want an opportunity to win some flashers and a spinner, thumbs up the video, share it out there, text message somebody, share it on Facebook, and drop a comment and let us know where you're tuning in from. Where are you at? What state? What city? What country? I saw someone said they want me to drop some more raps. She's probably only one of one.
One of one.
There was so many ruthless comments on that video. I had a laugh reading them. People did not think my Drake rap skills were very good.
I need to go back and read those comments.
They're good. People are roasting me. Should we tell Cam about last week? No?
Oh my gosh. What happened last week? I want to hear what happened last week. Why should you not tell me what happened last week?
Because Clint, he messed up and did something wrong. Just like always.
Well, shocker. So I'm not that surprised. What'd you mess up, Clint?
Marlin rap, Cam is dropping the beat.
What'd you mess up, Clint?
Nothing. I can pull up you singing on TikTok.
Me singing on TikTok?
Yeah.
No, let's not pull up.
Oh, we have that, huh?
Dude, that was...
Which one?
I was like, what the...
Oh, yeah.
I was totally...
The one you were making fun of Ryan. You should see the other one. Or not Ryan, Blair. You should see the other one.
I said like Ryan.
No, it was a Blair.
It was Blair.
This is what happens when you listen to me. He's like saying that over and over again. It's so funny.
There is so much context and a joke behind that. It's not just me being a complete jackass.
Look at this one that I posted.
Oh, God. Oh.
Watch.
I got to be careful what I do around Marlon and TikTok.
And I will choose to love you every single day.
I'm going to show the people that one. You're going to show the people.
If you want to see it, go to our TikTok.
Gosh.
Yeah. I figured you had no idea any of these. There's some great... I'm like, I can't believe Cameron is okay with those going up.
Look at this one I made too.
What he posts.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, would you look at that.
Everyone's out there not in on the joke.
I was gonna
Well,
say,
go to our TikTok.
Go watch our Instagram and TikTok. You can see some of the reels that we've been doing. We've been putting a lot of
preview one for these guys.
We've been putting a lot of effort into the
How many
shorts.
people want to see Marlon preview there?
We can. But let's pick a winner, Clinton. We got to bring our guest
We're
in.
bring our guest in, and then maybe we'll show the.
It's late o'clock where he's at.
Show the makeout.
It's very late
scene.
where he's at.
It's a makeout scene, guys. It gets kind of spicy.
There he is.
Joaquin. Oh, we can't pick Joaquin.
Yeah, Joaquin won
Oh
randomly.
my gosh.
Who's Joaquin?
He's
Joaquin,
a great client of mine.
You won 2 short bus flashers and a short bus spinner. Shoot us an email to orders@addicted.fishing. Include your name, your address, and let us know what you want. We get it out to you.
Fished me was what, 2 days ago? 3 days ago? I can't remember.
It's not a coincidence, Cam, that your clients watch the show.
Yeah.
Well, I know it.
So they could potentially
Okay,
win.
Calm down. There's hundreds of people live right now, and we picked one. But he commented, so he won. So good job.
And don't worry, guys. I'll have a bunch more prize packs throughout the night that we'll be giving away to you guys. So stay tuned. Stick with us. It's going to be a fun night. Let's bring in our guest, Clint. Bring him in.
Okay.
Bring him in.
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh gosh, Clint has to do something. Oh gosh.
Oh, I was in the middle. Hang
Oh
on.
gosh.
Just trying to figure it out.
Oh, and the live feed's on, and it's off.
What are you talking about?
Oh, there you go.
There we go. All right, guys. So we got Mr. Ryan here. We'll have him introduce himself officially, but this is one of our sponsors, Ryan from Old Town Kayaks. Go ahead and kind of introduce yourself. I'm not going to be able to do it as good as you will.
Hey everyone, Brian Lilly. I work for Old Town Canoes and Kayaks. I live here in Maine. Really fortunate to call Maine home. We've been in business here in Maine since 1898. So we have a pretty storied history, and I'm really fortunate to be a part of it.
That's awesome. So, guys, if you guys didn't know, we've been partnered with Old Town Canoes and Kayaks for a couple of years now. You guys have probably seen us using the kayaks in the videos. They reached out to us a few years ago and said, hey, we'd like to get you guys some kayaks. We had never really thought about doing the kayak fishing, and it kind of like opened our minds to like, man, this might be kind of cool. And ever since we've gotten in those things, it's really changed a lot of the ways we think about certain fisheries. And it's been really exciting to have those things, man. So maybe just start it out and just kind of talk about the history of Old Town and kind of where you guys started. And because again, that's one of my favorite parts, like I said in the podcast before we got on here, is like, for one, the fact that you guys still make everything in the USA is awesome right there. And you guys make it all. And where's it made?
Right here in Old Town, Maine.
Right in Old Town, Maine. That's pretty cool. That's so cool. Yeah, so maybe just give a backstory of kind of just a quick rundown of the history.
Sure. Yeah, we started in 1898. The Gray family owned a hardware store in town, and we are a big logging state, much like Oregon out there. And in the spring, summer, and fall, they would float logs down the river to the mill. But in the wintertime, the rivers would lock up with ice. And so there's a lot of log drivers that needed winter work. And so the Gray family hired a couple of craftsmen that knew how to make boats. And they started innovating wood canvas canoes in 1898, really kind of inspired based off of the indigenous birch bark canoes of the time, but they were much easier to maintain. And so really innovation was really what got us started. Fast forward to today, we offer canoes and kayaks of all shapes and sizes, and we're really innovating the kayak fishing space. So we're owned by the same parent company as 𝗛𝗘𝗟𝗣 and Humminbird, and so we've worked with their engineers to integrate 𝗛𝗘𝗟𝗣 trolling motors into some of our highest end fishing kayaks. And we also have pedal kayaks and paddle kayaks and recreational kayaks and canoes and all that stuff. So real innovative company, and really proud of what we do.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, and I saw someone comment 125 years, so that's
nuts.
That's really crazy. Everyone watching too, if you guys would drop some comments and let us know how many of you people watching are kayak fishermen, and how many of you out there watching like have thought about becoming a kayak fisherman, and maybe you're going to do it in the future. I'm just curious. I've been seeing a lot of people saying like the Old Town's the best. I've seen that comment already a bunch in the comments, so it's really cool to see. And we would agree. You know, the reality is like them being our sponsor or not has nothing to do with the fact that like having the 𝗛𝗘𝗟𝗣 built into those things with the autopilot, like I think it's going to be really hard for any of your competitors to like match that. It's just so badass. And versatile.
Yeah,
really.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
And you see him.
Yeah, we got the leg up because we obviously can share engineering resources across 𝗛𝗘𝗟𝗣 and Old Town to deliver a fully integrated system. I mean, there's a lot of people that are kind of hodgepodging and DIYing motors onto their kayaks. We took all the guesswork out of it and all the complication by integrating a motor. So all you need to do is source a battery for it, and it's ready to roll.
That's so cool. And one of the things we were talking about on the podcast is like one of the things that makes them so versatile, as you guys know, is if you fish in the Pacific Northwest, there's a lot of lakes and a lot of bodies of water that you cannot have combustion engines in. And that's where these kayaks come into play, because you can put these kayaks pretty much anywhere and they'll fish just like a big fishing platform. I mean, you could put a nice fish finder on it. You can have all the electronics in the world that you want. You can stand on these kayaks now. You know, he calls them a fishing platform because the reality is that's what they are. Like, I've seen Jordan set the hook on fish standing up where I'm like, how did that thing not, or casting a fly, you know? And it's like, you just watch the kayak and the thing barely moves. It's just so.
Yeah, the stabilities came a long ways on him.
It's crazy. It's really crazy about it. So, and then you came out here, Ryan, and fished. So why don't you talk a little bit about your experience coming out here and using those things for salmon fishing in some of our fisheries?
Yeah, so I'm no stranger to trolling. I do a lot of trolling here in Maine for landlocked salmon and trout. And it was really fun to come out and fish the Pacific Northwest for kings. I had the opportunity to do the same thing on Lake Michigan, so it was fun to fish for king salmon on Lake Michigan in the Pacific Northwest and kind of compare and contrast how anglers do different things to catch those fish. The backdrop in the Pacific Northwest is hard to beat, so it's just beautiful being out there. But I really enjoyed I was talking to you guys earlier, the community aspect of how, your anglers all are in it together. I can't imagine putting that many boats. Like we were on the Columbia River with 200 other boats, and we're just a bunch of kayakers, and everybody's super friendly and sharing ideas and tips and lure colors, and this is what's working for me, this isn't working for me. Like that wouldn't happen on some of our packed waterways up here. People would be yelling at you to get out of the way. So it's just kind of cool to be a part of the community up there and to get on fish. Yeah, we fished
really cool.
Drano.
And so you said when you were in Michigan, they were throwing jerk baits for them, huh?
Yeah, they trolled jerk baits and spoons, and they're catching world class size fish there too. But we had one of our anglers that was from Lake Michigan come to the Pacific Northwest with us, and he stuck to his Lake Michigan lures just to see if it would work, and he didn't catch a dang thing. And then we did the same thing in reverse, and the things that work in the Pacific Northwest aren't working on Lake Michigan. So it's really interesting how those fish have adapted to the forage, and they feed completely differently in the two places.
Yeah, we went out and fished Lake Ontario in New York, and I came back and I told Cam the same thing. We went out there. We went out there fully prepared, 360s, everything that we know about fishing out here. And this guy basically I would rig 3 rods exactly how we fish them out here, and then he would rig 3 rods, and it just seemed like they just wanted to eat the way that he was fishing. We did catch some fish, don't get me wrong. We caught some fish on Brad's super baits, and we caught some fish doing our techniques. Did not work as good as what his did. Not even close. Yeah, they had just figured it out. But
the thing about those fish too, out there, they're eating actively on what he's giving them.
Exactly.
Some of the cut bait versus when we're doing a lot of our river fishing, they're on the the spawning run, of course. So they're more you're trying to piss them off. You're trying to entice their curiosity. They're not gunning down herring, up above Bonneville Dam. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or at the Hanford Reach, 300 miles away. So you put something in front of them, they just get pissed off and hit it. But
it makes sense. It makes sense for sure.
So really cool.
So Ryan, what else do you want to talk about? Tell us some more about Old Town. What do you guys got? Any new things that you have coming, or maybe talk a little bit about just the autopilots? I know we run the 12.6 and then we run the 13.6. I think is what you guys have.
Yep. The 120 and the 136. So we've got 2 sizes of that autopilot, and what Marlon, what you're referring to is our fully integrated Minn Kota boat with spot lock. And what's great about that boat is it's a lot like, a normal full-size fishing craft with a bow-mounted trolling motor. It's the same trolling motor that you would have on the bow of your bass boat or your trolling boat, put into the kayak size. The battery sits underneath the seat. It's a 12-volt, 100 amp hour battery that you use to operate. You can do lead acid or lithium ion, and it's fully integrated with spot lock. So if you're fishing a strong current or windy day, you can just hit the spot lock button and it holds you there, and you can focus on the fishing. So it's an incredible platform. We also have a Minn Kota boat that's operated with a throttle handle beside your seat, and it's called the 106, powered by Minn Kota. So it's a simpler design. It's only 10 foot 6 inches. But we've got 3 motorized boats within our Sportsman line that work great for what you do out there in the Pacific Northwest. And then we have a full fleet of pedal kayaks. So if it's not in the budget for you to do a motorized kayak and you want to pedal, or you just prefer to pedal, We've got several shapes and sizes of pedal crafts. One of my favorites is the Salty PDL. It's really kind of a saltwater hull design. That's kind of what it is right there, what you're showing on the screen. It's real pointy in the front. It's got a lot of it's basically our sportier pedal kayak, 12-foot long, real zippy, real fun to fish out of. And then we have some larger, more stable pedal kayaks as well. So we've got kayaks for all shapes and sizes. And if you want to check us out, it's 𝗛𝗘𝗟𝗣 𝗪𝗡.com. We've got a kayak selector on there if you want to know, based on what your needs are, what kayak's best for you. We have a dealer locator as well. So if you wanted to check out what dealers are near you, if you wanted to go demo, I know Next Adventure in Portland carries our full line, and there's some other dealers in the area that do as well. But yeah, we've been around for 125 years. We keep paving the way on innovation. You're going to see a lot of really exciting innovation from us in the next few years. And really the customers asking for hands-free propulsion so they can focus on fishing. That's what we want to deliver, and that's what we have delivered and what we'll keep innovating in.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, man. I'm stoked. And you brought up Next Adventure a couple times. I was so blown away when they were set up at the Sportsman Show. Those guys have everything you could ever want. So if you are just interested, and they have some really knowledgeable fishermen like Brandon that works there. Like some of the guys that work at Next Adventure are like killer anglers, insane anglers that know a lot about kayak fishing. So if you are interested in getting into it or just want to dip your feet into it, I highly recommend checking out Next Adventure for sure.
And they've got an incredible demo center down the river. So like if you want to go into the retail store, talk to some of those folks on the floor to kind of get an idea of what you want to try, then go down and give a few a try. I mean, try some of our competitor stuff too, because even though I'd love to see it in Old Town, just figure out what boat's right for you. Kayak fishing unlocks a lot of opportunities. You can take a kayak where you can't take a big boat. It provides a new and different experience. You can outfit them like a big boat with fish finders and shallow water anchors. And I put downriggers on my kayak. So there's all kinds of things that you can do. It's an awesome platform. And, I'm just so excited to see more people getting into the sport.
That's really cool, man. Well, Ryan, we appreciate you having on. We got to talk some plug fishing for salmon tonight, but we wanted to bring you on again. Like I said, guys, Old Town Canoes and I'm mumbling here. Old Town Canoes and Kayaks.
Struggling through that one there, bud.
Yeah, they've been a sponsor for us for a couple years. So if you guys are interested in kayak fishing, check them out. Go to their website, look at the dealer locator, find somewhere close to you, and go check out kayak fishing. It really is a blast. We're excited to be in them. You guys are going to see, now that we're getting into nice sunny weather, you're going to see a lot of good videos with kayak fishing coming up soon. So
thanks so much for having me on, guys.
Before you go, Ryan?
No, go catch some fish. And if anybody has any questions, actually, I should say that our customer service team is awesome. They're ready to help, but you can also reach me on Instagram at Ryan S. Lilly. That's Lilly. I'm happy to field anybody's questions. If you have any questions or you want some suggestions on where you should start.
Sweet. Appreciate you, Ryan. We'll let you get back to probably your night because it's late where you're at. What time is it out there?
10:14.
10:14. Oh. So, yeah, we'll let you get back to your night, man. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll have you in again sometime. We appreciate it.
Thanks, fellas.
Yep. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Very cool. What's funny too is like out there, fishing the last few days. Like I don't think people realize, like, even in these real like crowded and competitive like fisheries, we're doing a lot of stuff to try to, even in these real like.
No one's gonna hear it. Oh, sorry, Mike. So you're good.
Okay. Nobody in these competitive fisheries where you see these kayaks are trying to produce, a lot of the stuff we're trying to do is like get our gear away from the boat. Yeah. Trying to like limit like our presence, like sitting over the gear with our motors and noise and shadow and stuff like that. And you watch some of these kayakers, I mean, they like slip in, freaking whoop, get a fish, slip, and then they're gone. Like happened to see it a few times today. So either way, if looking for a salmon slaying machine, guys get around. You obviously can fish a whole bunch of different areas that you're not going to be taking big boats, big motors in, and still be able to apply like some of the technology on the fish finders and some of the lives and stuff that people are putting on these kayaks.
They're tricked
and
out
going
these
to
days.
areas that like the gas boats have never touched. I mean, pretty sick stuff.
Yeah.
So,
just the things. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience in mine. I've taken mine out only a few select times, but even just a few select times, I've been like, damn, where has this thing been my whole life? Like it's just so versatile to use in so many different fisheries. And like I said, especially if you're a guy like me that likes to roll around and pond hop and hit little lakes and stuff like that, they're so badass. But even above and beyond that, the salmon fishing out of them, like Cam said, is in smaller rivers too. It's like, the spot lock technology, you can do some crazy stuff with it in tributaries.
Yes.
So open your mind up to that and think about it when it comes to fishing any of our tributaries and some of the different techniques that we do. It's pretty sweet. No, Ben, I'm not playing pool on my phone. I'm trying to share the live feed out there so we get more people in here. I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it on Facebook and all this random things. I have a feeling a lot of people are watching the NBA playoffs or the hockey playoffs or whatever else. I've been checking on my phone the scores every little bit.
You're part of the problem. No, you're not part of the problem. I'm kidding. All right, guys. Well.
The good thing is there's only 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter of the Celtics game, and the Celtics are destroying the Sixers, so that's about to be over.
As predicted.
Maybe some people will come over and join us. No, the Sixers are up 1-0 right now, so now it's going to be 1-1.
1-1. Uh-oh.
Sure, a lot of people are going to bed because, Springer hours are early, long days.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Early.
Well, let's talk some damn plugs.
Yeah.
How about
so, we were talking tributary spring Chinook, but of course, as always, like some of the plug stuff can be obviously applied just about anywhere. I've got kind of a spattering of plugs to talk about today. Wanted to talk a little about hook configuration stuff because we didn't necessarily have a lot of the hook stuff with us last time, and how to adjust and how to change that if you're going to go single hook or if you're going to go stock treble hooks. So I've got extra box and how to attach bait. And I know you guys have seen this before, but maybe there's something that Ryan can add tonight that I didn't bring a camera. Something. We'll figure it out. But something that Ryan can add tonight and be part of the discussion, something you guys can add, and we have new people that tune in every day. So we're going to be talking about Brad's killifish. We've got some mags in here to wrap and kind of the intricacies for some of these to put out in front of salmon. We also potentially, I know I've seen some other openers in North Washington for spring Chinook where guys are doing a lot of back trolling plugs.
Sitting on the
hook. And potentially we could see some more stuff in the lower Columbia River. The upper Columbia River is still open for a few more days. There's some anchorfish. I mean, there's places
now that
to
the water's
apply,
cranking.
and the water's cranking.
Plug fishing is going to be on fire if they give us an opener.
Generally speaking, higher water or more current that can move fish and concentrate fish going through certain areas, and having these plugs in their way is the way to go.
Yep.
There's times it's funny. You're talking about a summer Chinook trip with my clients today, and they're asking, what kind of fishing are we doing? Because they're coming out in the end of June. What kind of fishing are we doing? I was like, I don't know yet. It's either going to be anchor fishing with plugs or it's going to be trolling.
I think with all the snowpack, it's definitely going to be sitting on the hook.
Do not cut yourself. Oh my gosh, those poor scissors.
Titanium, dude, just cutting right through this aluminum like it's nothing.
Wait, what? No whiteboard? There might be a whiteboard.
I want to know how many of you guys out there know. I was so surprised when I did an Instagram video that how many people didn't know you could use this to wrap a plug. Right. I was amazed at how many people were like, what? You use canned tuna? I was like, yeah, it's one of the best things to use.
Easy to find, easy to buy, cheap, and honestly,
I think it has more smell to it.
There's just sometimes you just cannot freaking beat it. Cannot beat it.
Old camp trick there, huh?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See some pretty good ones in here.
I've done this on my boat so many times when I've forgotten.
I leave a can opener, a Camper Chef can opener, mind you, in my boat at all times.
I have a little tiny thing that's this big. It goes
the little wallet opener. Yeah.
It just sits in my bibs in case I need it.
When you need it.
Because I always seem to lose my real can opener.
This was the plug box. I wish I would have brought
Oh
the boat
no,
when
I
Jordan
stabbed
and
a
did the
hole in the
competition.
can.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Mm-hmm.
No teeth marks.
Put the whole can in this box.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna throw the whole can at you. I mean, I've got some that are like they're not even in here. They're not even in here. Don't. Anyways, guys, so plug wrapping, quick fish, killer fish, excuse me. Yes, I got thread. Trying to figure out, I wanted to find like some of the really good ones.
Go to side cam, Clint.
Yeah, give people an idea what they could be working with here.
Juicy.
Oh, look at that.
Juicy. Ooh.
I wonder if I have the OG in there. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I wish I had. Oh, I do. I've got the OG. That one. Recognize that pattern, guys?
It's modeled off one of our custom plugs.
Yeah. I don't have the custom plug in here. Got double orange stuff. Got a couple of these double oranges from our customs in there. Rigged a little differently. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about that in a minute. Some things to do. So, first thing, guys, plug fishing, bait divers. We're not going to talk about too much about like the setups because depending on where you're fishing, whether you're flatlining them, these have a diving action and they're going to swing down to the bottom. And the idea is that that thing is sitting there rattling in front of their face when the fish swims up and grabs it. Pretty straightforward. But we want to talk a little bit about like what you want to do or what you can do or what you have to do when it comes to setting these up. So pretty much when you buy a killer fish, this is what it's going to come in the package. It's going to come rigged with 2 stock treble hooks. What do you do with those?
Plugs, man, it's a weird thing. Sometimes they're great with the double treble. Sometimes you're just losing fish after fish. And I'll go to a big single hook on the trail and let their mouth slide off it and get them a little bit deeper. But
I always like to do, again, I don't fish near as much as you guys do, but one of the things I learned from Cam is I always run it like right how it is just to see how it's going to fish. Like, because a lot of times right out of the box with the stock treble hooks is when you get the best action, the best killer, the best. So you may lose a lot of fish, but you may also hook a lot more because of the way.
I think the wiggle is the most important part in plug fishing. Yeah. Absolutely, no question. If that plug's not running good, you're not getting bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a couple things. So first off, one guy said, get a few more, why don't you? I have probably like 8 more boxes like this at home. So, something you collect. Plugs are kind of one of those things where like once you find a good runner and I find a good worker, like you tend to collect them and you don't get rid of them too many. Yeah. And then also when you're fishing them and you have good workers, you tend to fish heavier lines and protect them. This is not about salt trolling. This is big river and tributaries. In fact, this one right here happens to be, it's a KF15. It's one of the larger size killer fish. They have a killer fish 14, 15, and 16. So it's a little bit on the big side. One of my favorite fall tributary color plugs right here. It's clear with a little bit of white and fantastic for small river fishing. If you think about it, if you have fish that are held up in a hole or they're moving, water's up, water's running. Is this what you want? For what? What happened? What happened there?
The freaking, someone slipped a bunch of freaking pin needles down here, and Ryan about died. I was like, don't step to your left, dude, or else you're getting 1,000 pins in your foot.
Okay, going back to the plug that we were talking about here. So, really good color tributaries. Depending on like what the water clarity is, you want to go, with your more subtle colors or your chartreuse, something like this, something that's not as vibrant, but as waters murk up and waters get dirtier.
I think speed of current has a lot to play on what size plug you want to run.
The size, yeah.
You guys want them working proper, not overworking or popping out of the water and not diving down. So each size, I feel like, is for different current speeds and depth.
Another fantastic tributary. One of my favorite tributaries that runs real clear. Tributary.
What's that called?
I don't know. It's an old Brad's killerfish, KF15. It's been chewed on a few times.
We'll get her there.
Yeah, chewed on a few times. But notice like these two, kind of like I said, the more pale, one of the tributaries I do a lot of fall fishing in tends to be real clear. I don't get a lot of water. I don't get a lot of like dinginess to it. So that's why you see like that there's just a million different colors. We come out with custom colors and all sorts of stuff. It pays to be different, but keeping in mind that when you have clear tributaries, having something a little more subtle sometimes works really well versus having something that's really bright and vibrant. You guys can see there, some really, even though like the camera again is not doing these colors justice. So talking about, here's some double orange and a magnet 4.5. Now, you can do different hook configurations. So sometimes when you guys, if you're in a single barbless area, you got to run, you got to take off the hooks and you got to run like a single setup. So this right here is a Brad's Killerfish 14 with a single Siwash setup on the tail hook. Some guys will put those on the bellies, but
That's one of my favorite ways to run it
this
right
is
there.
kind of the juice. Like, even though they put it on the bellies, kind of want to run it, I don't know, kind of like to run it this way. Like you said earlier, if a fish comes up, grabs the side of the bait, by the time that plug slides out, that hook generally finds something
One
big.
thing that's important if you run that hook configuration is make sure there's enough weight, because when you take the stock 6 off, it does change the tune on it, and putting a big enough wrap that you're getting the good wiggle out of it.
Yeah. You guys can see here's another one. This one's been eaten a bunch. Single hooks. You talk about adding a little weight. Well, there's a little weight added there. Help keep the balance of the plug. Yep. Stock treble hook size 5 swivel. Let's see if I have some other good single chewers in here. This isn't like the... Oh, that one's been chewed on a few times. Single hook. Single hook setup, like I said, some areas you can't fish trebles, or you can only fish single point barbless hook. Single point barbless hanging there. Size treble. You guys want to see how we kind of go through and rig these? You can take out, all these got to do is just removing these split rings and add the swivel, which is an open eye Siwash swivel. And you bend, see the tail there? How I have the swivel on that? You can literally take a pair of pliers and bend that ring open on the bottom side of the plug, add the swivel, and then attach your plug to it. I don't know about like the guys in California, but I think isn't like some of the other rivers in California like single point barbless? Don't they have to? I thought like I think there's
This
a
year
lot.
they're
I know
closed.
in Alaska.
This year they're closed.
Yeah, well that too. I know in Alaska there was a lot of single point barbless fishing, which is why you see a lot of these set up this way. But even on the Columbia and even on some of the tributaries, I'll definitely run some single point, especially when the fish are freaking pissing me off. Because I think every person out there fishing a plug at some point in time has lost a fish on a plug. Would you not agree?
Oh, a ton. And I fish a lot of shallow water for coho later in the year, and the single hook just seems to get those coho where the treble just does not. Because coho just tend to come up when you're in 2 feet of water and they're just shaking their head. And I run the single hook on for coho fishing for
What's
sure.
your favorite coho plug? Are you running something small like a Mag 3.5, or are you running the 14s? Or you running...
I like 14s and 15s, and most of the time I'm running 15s, and I'm in shallow water, but they just like that slower thump. I'm flatlining them and in shallow water, and fish are moving up the system generally on higher water, and they like the slower side-to-side action. The 14s, they seem to fish better if the water's clear, less...
They seem to just, I mean, they almost vibrate. They can sometimes
they're more
move
erratic,
so
where
fast.
That big one's just like, blah, 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 blah. So it's almost like a wobbler back there, you know?
Here's what we're talking about, you guys, with the difference in sizes. So I got a 14 down below and then a 15 up above. So, I don't know, you can kind of see that is considerably, it is considerably smaller. I'm not doing a very good job. I kind of suck at this. There we go. No? Anyways, 2 different actions. And some days it is all about the 15. And what's funny, a lot of people think that if you're fishing like slower water, that you might actually want to fish like the smaller lure.
Yeah.
But that tends, or like at the start of a tide, or like, or if you're off current and you're fishing in the side seam. Well, a lot of times the 15, that bigger bill, grabs more water than the 14. And actually you get a better action and a better action and a better, I guess it should be better action out of a 15 in the slower water. So a lot of times people will think that going with the smaller plug is better in the slower, but the 15 actually works.
One thing I notice on Columbia River tributaries and anything, the closer I am to the tidal water, the bigger the plug. The farther I get upstream, on the Columbia, like...
Yeah, but the reach, those guys are like K16s all day.
Whoa.
Giant dill pickle. Trolling dill pickle.
Yeah, but we're talking fish that are staged up there and they're putting something big and aggressive to get them pissed off. But when you're talking like spring
movers,
Chinook and
movers.
fresh fish
Okay,
that are
okay,
moving,
okay.
no question.
Gotcha. Yeah, because like plugs, like you can do two things. You can either get in their way or you can like drag it.
Now,
through,
you're
like, so to
talking
tick them off. Yeah.
Big dragons that want to hit the biggest thing you can
Yes.
absolutely put in front of their
I don't
face.
know if I even have a 16 somewhere in here.
Remember the old hog nose? They're huge. They're like a
T50s.
K18.
Oh, I got a 16 right here.
Holy cow.
No hooks on it.
That's a big boy.
Definitely no teeth marks on that one.
No,
for you,
I don't
bud.
think I've ever fished it.
You know what I used these for back in the day? We used to have some rivers that had chum, and the chum wanted these monster plugs, but nothing else I would use them
Show
for.
these guys the difference between what we're talking about here, the 14, 15, and 16. Yeah, 14, 15. Bertha.
This thing's like a banana.
I think it is a banana.
Everyone out there watching, what's your favorite? What do you like? You like a KF14? You like a Maglip 4.0, Maglip 3.5, a 16, a 14? What do you guys prefer when you're fishing? And I guess it's going to change based on what fisheries, but what's your favorite? It seems like for the most part, I always run a 14 for the most part. Like it seems like that's like my go-to is a KF14.
Yeah.
I caught a lot of fish on it.
Tributary or Columbia?
In the Columbia.
14's a pretty good all around. I mean, if you're going to pick one.
Yeah. Now, again, I'll use other stuff, and I've caught quite a few fish on other sizes, but it just seems like that. I always go to a 14.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm not a fishing guide like you.
Yeah. I would say number one color. What do you think, Cameron?
Oh, geez.
If you're going to pick one plug, you get one color.
If I get one color for the rest of my days.
Or I guess you get two. One or two.
No, we get one color. Let's do the one color game.
You don't have it. Nope. Chartreuse bill, chrome body. I'm going to say it all the way. Everything. I don't care what it is. Coho, king, chum.
I would disagree, but I don't have the exact variation in here. But
So everyone's saying KF15, 14s, Maglip, 15,
red butt,
15 strictly.
Chartreuse bill, red butt,
That's a good one.
or some kind of variation.
I'm just going to take the chartreuse bill, chrome body.
Yeah, the OG.
Depends on the river, 14 or 15.
Oh, wait, no, never mind.
Oh, now what's everyone's saying colors. What's your favorite colors out there, everyone? What are you thinking? Thickle pickle, I see.
Pickles, yep.
Those are money.
Something very similar.
Yeah,
to
you
this,
do,
like
you guys.
the
You do
yellow
notice almost every plug in this box has some chartreuse on it.
Yeah.
I would say, guys, in all the years of fishing with Cameron, he's a killer fish guy, but I have seen him run Maglips too.
Oh,
for sure.
No, I had them all kind of out here on the cameras to show you guys some sizes from the 4.5s to 4.0s to 3.5s as well, but I can't find a 4.0 because I think all the 4.0s are in a different box. No, 4.5, that's a 4.5. Yeah, all my 4.0s are being held for use. We'll
Yeah,
just say
Dennis, I would, if you're going to plunk them from the bank, I would definitely stick to a smaller plug. Those bigger ones tend to, I wouldn't run a
They
big
might
one.
drag. It depends on your current because, like, if you have a lot of current, you don't want something that's going to have, like, if you put the 15s and stuff on, a lot of drag on your legs.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If you're bricking it or something like that, you're running lines, maybe, but if you're casting, it'd be real tough. Go with the 3.5 mag lips or even 3.0s.
So it's funny, it might have been 3 years ago, we were doing the wobbler fishing, and honestly, the water wasn't high. It wasn't up and high. And you were upriver from us, anchored on a piling line, and I talked to you, and you're like, "Yeah, dude, we're like we're getting them good on plugs." And I'm like, "What the hell?" Because the last few days we had just been wrecking them on wobblers, and we couldn't get them to bite wobblers.
Yeah.
And I talked to Cam, and he's like, "Yeah, we're getting them on plugs." And I'm like, "How deep are you?" And he's like, "I'm in like 38 feet of water." And I'm like, "What?" And so I'm like, F this, and I reel in my stuff. I take all the triple wobblers off, just like Cam said. I do one KF15 and I run it out with a brick. I drop it before I even get back. I have a fish on, and it changed the way I think about fishing for summer Chinook because I've always just wobbler fished for them.
Oh yeah.
There are days, like even in the fall, like even in the old school, like fall before 360s, and we were doing all the guiding, anchoring up with wobblers, getting out there 3 hours before tide. That if the whole line's dead, you see him coming on the boat, it's like second week of September when it's just
Fish
your
pouring
time,
through.
and they're just wanting to be jerks. The
Yeah.
first thing you'd always do is put like a 3-foot dropper, a 4-foot leader, and just start sticking out KF-15s and that barrel in. You have to sometimes use 20-ounce lead.
Yeah.
And they got all these wobblers down there, and then you got that freaking aggressive, just son of a gun, just
Rattling away.
dude. Absolutely. So, don't ever overlook the plug. I don't even go even to this day, even with all the 360 trolling and whatnot. I do not go in the fall ever without a box of plugs, just because you never freaking know. But for summer Chinook, they're absolutely killer. You got a little colder temps. Sometimes you have a little murkier water. So the fish aren't going to suspend off. They're going to get down on the banks. They're going to get towards the shore.
Yep.
You get them kind of more channelized when in the fall. In the Columbia anyways, we get real clear water. Move around. They got to kind of, we're at 30 feet and 50 feet of water. It's kind of hard to fish a plug. But so that's why
and
a lot
the
of
fish
times
can be a lot more suspended in the fall than
for sure.
in the
For sure. You're
summer.
not going to be able to keep that plug in their travel lane when they have the travel lane is all the water.
Yeah.
They take a swim. Which is why tributaries in the Columbia, when it's high and when it's muddy, are really good. Or when you have places that channelize up towards the dams in the fall, are fantastic places to use plugs too.
Yeah.
This is a really good question for both of you. What separates a killer fish from a quick fish from a maglip? Why do you choose which one and where and what scenarios and all those
For
stuff?
me, I use killer fish and quick fish when I'm on anchor, and I troll maglips. They have a different action. Seems to be like a slower, bigger swing on the quick fish and the killer fish.
Yeah.
The maglip, it dives better. It's more of a faster action, and for me, I don't sit on the hook with them. I like quick fish and killer fish if I'm on the hook. If I'm flatlining them or trolling, or
What if
even
you're in
even
super
back
shallow
trolling.
water. Still killer fish. You're not gonna
Even worse, because
flatline
the
a maglip.
maglip dives more and it wants to hit the bottom more. It's a diving plug, where the quick fish isn't really a diving plug. They don't dive as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They say they dive 12 feet. They don't. But
They
if you're
don't.
in
They
6,
pop
8
out
feet
of the water.
That's so weird to
I
hear you say
love
that, dude, because
flatlining.
I have absolutely smashed springers and summer Chinook on maglips on anchor flatlining.
flatlining them.
Crushing fish.
I'm talking on the
but
hook
I'm
with a lead
talking
dropper.
12 to 4 feet of water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They dive good, but if you're gonna put a lead and sit on anchor with a dropper lead in that, not the way to go. But flatlining them, they dive way better
Yeah.
and keep a better action on them.
Yeah. What about you, Cam? What's your...
So you said quick fish, killer fish, and maglips. So
Yeah, kinda
even
comparing
though
the
it's
three.
three,
Yeah.
even though it's 3 lures, it's pretty much kind of 2 categories to me. So you have like your banana plugs, which is your killer fish, and honestly, the difference between the two is quick fish was kind of the OG back in the 70s, 60s even, when that got brought up from California. Believe it or not, it was a striper lure.
Mhm.
It wasn't something that was applied up here. A bunch of guys brought it up, caught fish on it, caught salmon on it, and then it turned into a salmon plug.
Yeah.
The kind of the difference though for me between the killer fish and the quick fish is that when the killer fish came out, I think the tolerances when they build the plugs was just so much more tight, because you would buy back in the day, you'd buy 10 quick fish and a couple of them had the right wobble, worked. You could tune them easily. You could add.
You could
plug
look
ups
at
to
them and they're different sizes.
Exactly. You could hold them up and you could see that one's got a bigger body bubbled than the others. When the killer fish came out, being probably a newer style plug, better tolerances in the manufacturing, everything like that, it just seemed like I got much, much more consistent fish catchers out of the Brad's killer fish design than the quick fish design. So since the advent of the killer fish, gosh, I want to say 15 years ago.
I don't even know.
It's been kind of there. It's been a while, because I can remember filming old Anglers West 10 years ago with stuff that looked like, I found it. I saw it in there. With stuff, look at this. You want to talk about a real OG faded OG? I don't even know how many fish I caught on that. It's epoxy coated, so those get beat up. But I found more fish catchers with the killer fish. So I just started using killer fish. Now maglips have a whole, these have kind of more of a, the banana plugs have more of kind of a rhythmic, really loud thump, I guess. Your maglips have more of an erratic, kind of like a vibrating action, and they have a better, they honestly dive better. So whenever you need to be in a situation where you're fishing, like you said, like you're back trolling like that 4 to 12 feet of water, and you want to make sure that the mag lip is getting down as you're back trolling it, or a plug's getting down, and you're not going to utilize a diver or any lead. Like your mag lips are going to dive better. They are going to dive better. But I think this puts off a more like kind of aggressive, like rhythmic thump versus this guy, which is like more erratic. And some days, man, it's this, and some days it's freaking this. And that's even on anchor in the Columbia. That's even like for sockeye fishing, for steelhead fishing. Believe it or not, like one or the other will make a difference. That's why you see kind of so much of this stuff in these boxes. Granted, I don't have my true working box on me, but like my true working box has both of these plugs, because there might be an environment that I'd rather run the mag than the killerfish. Mm-hmm. Also, too, the mags have kind of this weird action where they dive down and then they kick out, and then they dive down and they kick out. They call it the skip beat action. And if you run these two next to each other, they are a different beast.
Completely different action. You can see it on the rod tip when you got them out.
Right. You got to also rig them a little different. Like if you're back trolling in the tributaries, or you're trying to fish some slow moving water, if you're fishing anything over 8 feet, I wouldn't probably flatline a banana plug. I would definitely have some kind of diver or some kind of lead that would get it down. This guy, I probably wouldn't be afraid. A 4.0, I probably wouldn't be afraid to put anything on it. Anything shallower than 14 feet, I'd probably let this thing ride flatline.
I flatline those fishing 18 feet of water and just smashing springers, trolling them.
Yeah, they'll get down. And trolling too. Trolling these guys, if you're going to want to get to some kind of depth, you're going to want to have some kind of diver or some kind of lead. And believe it or not, like up in Alaska, like on the Nish, like we just troll these things around and just crush. But we did it with a little bit of lead, or in the shallower spots we did it flatlining. Mag lips.
The one thing about the mag lips too, I want to say, is the consistency of fish catchers with those compared to other plugs that we used to flatline around.
They're not as finicky. Just the design is not as finicky as far as tuning. And if you guys don't know what tuning a plug is, go check out the anchor fishing tutorial on Addicted Fishing. We have these things in the water. We show you guys how to tune killer fish, and how you can make little small adjustment on the eyes to where basically it changes the whole action of the plug, and it makes a difference of catching fish and not.
Oh,
it's crazy.
To me, the tune is everything.
What's that?
The tune's everything.
The tune is everything.
Color, size, it matters, but if that thing's not wiggling and you don't have it tuned right.
You want to talk about that? Side cam it, Cam?
Yeah. When we're talking about tuning plugs, we always are talking about adjusting this part of the eye. So like when you have a plug that's sitting here like this, oops, try shiny, there he goes, boom. That actually, it's just because that color. Here we go.
It's a hard plug to deal with. Yeah.
Is that better? There's the eyelet. When you're tuning a plug, just having a plug that, let's say that one's running straight and it doesn't need to be adjusted, cool. But let's say that's kind of glary.
I'm trying to get, why is it doing that?
Oh, shadow it. There we go. You guys can get the idea. This is tuning a plug, is when you're grabbing your pair of plier and you're twisting that one way or the other. And just by twisting it, just the most minor, not even like seeing how much it's tuned, or even seeing that eye really adjust, just almost like just adding a little pressure to it and putting it in the water, you can take a plug that's diving nice and square, and all of a sudden it'll be like diving over here, and it'll be like leaned off to a side, and it'll be moving one way or the other. You want these guys.
I can't tell you how many times I'm frustrated.
Straight down.
Sitting there like, sometimes if I can't get it right, I'm like, screw this freaking thing. And I just put it back in the box and grab a different one. Because I'm like,
well, one thing I want to add to that, you guys, is
your wrap. If you don't wrap it right, your wrap can really mess up.
Oh, every time you wrap it, you got to recheck your tune.
Yep.
And another thing I want to add,
when we went, Marlon all I did was scream at me because I wrapped them all. So everything was my fault.
You guys can do that to help.
It's always your fault, Clint. When you can learn, it's always your fault.
Yeah.
I had fun fishing with you for a few days. Why are you making it negative? I plan on inviting you a lot more. Now you're not invited. It's over.
One thing I want to add,
catch any springers.
I want to add to the tuning is these eyelets screw out. And I've noticed over the years when you're struggling to get a tune, you go left to right, you just can't get it right. Mm-hmm. Screw that eyelet in and out, and it changes the tune on it too. So
interesting.
That's another trick. Obviously, don't screw it out far enough that when a fish grabs it, it pulls it out of the threads. But
you have to be careful too, because I've been warned by Scott that once you take those things out and you put them back in, the hole's never the same.
No, and they fill full of water.
But regardless, well, it's not even just that. Basically, it wallows it out. And so it'll like start to basically like ruin the threading, and exactly what you just said. Next thing you know, fish, and then all of a sudden it's gone. You come back and all you got's an eyelet.
And usually it's just like turning it out one turn, maybe turning the eyelet over. Not big adjustments on that, but it can definitely make a difference.
So funny story about that. When we did our first round of plugs, the first round, Scott comes over and he's like, we're sitting in the thing, and to paint the custom plugs, we have to take the hooks off. And we had probably done about 20 of them, and Scott walks in and we're sitting there, and Colt's unscrewing every bottom eyelet off of the...
Oh, no.
Instead of like taking the split ring off, and Scott like, what are you doing? I mean, he like loses his mind on it. He's like, you can't do that, And so anyway, we learned that you're not supposed to...
So which 20 plugs were those?
We didn't use them. Scott got us 20 more plugs because he was that worried about that ruin.
Oh, yeah. You can't take it all the way out.
Yeah, he was like that.
Well, let's be honest. With all collectors, no one's going to fish them anyways.
I mean, some of them.
No, I'm kidding.
Got a lot of good pictures of fish with our plugs.
But speaking of the belly hooks, too, another thing that you also got to make sure that you tune up, especially like after you catch a fish. Oh, thank you, Timothy, for the super chat. Appreciate that. If you have a question or comment, let us know. It didn't come through. Go to Sidecam. Is you also got to make sure, especially like after you catch a fish, that your belly hook is squared up and that your tail hook, because sometimes like you can even see that one's like kind of like kicked off a little bit.
I never messed
Not
with
belly
that.
hook, belly eyelet.
Belly eyelet, excuse me. But having the hooks in the nets, always when you have a fish in the net, these things will always get kicked off to one side or the other.
This one's turned pretty good.
Boom, there you go. Like that one, I don't know if I caught a fish on that or that's just in the box, but you do want to make sure that you are all squared and lined up. If you're not squared and lined up, it's gonna set it off balance.
I can't say it enough. Tune's everything. Plug fishing. The tune is the
difference between catching them and watching other people catch them. Okay.
That and the bait and the scent.
That and the bait and scent, yeah.
Oh, and being in that lane.
That's the most important. That's
why are people into collecting?
Like to say you're gonna eat popcorn today, folks.
Yeah.
Bring popcorn and a blankie. Anyways, why are people into collecting mag lips? Is this new? I wouldn't say mag lips so much, but a lot of the older like style quick fish and some of that now becoming some of the older.
I hear crazy prices of the old.
Yeah,
it's just like the reality is, guys. It's just like anything, Once someone's really passionate about something, they'll figure out a way to collect it. Guys collect.
I hear guys getting $300 for quick fish.
I mean, anything, anything, and I think it's really cool. There's a lot of limited, just hard to find plugs out there that people.
I saw you have one in here, an iFish edition. I have like almost every year of the iFish quick fish. And mag lips.
Yeah, I think there was a mag. Yeah, I don't even know how I got. I think I found that one. Honestly, it's kind of funny.
I saw it somewhere in
Whatever,
there.
Dude, you bought it.
No, I never did. I mean, I would say if I did or not, but yeah.
2010.
That's a 2010 iFish mag lip, but
they actually make really cool boxes, that little slots that these quick fish go in, and mag lips.
Yeah, have you seen those boxes? It's a 40. What was the number?
I'd have to look.
They're hard to find. They're really hard to find, but they're so badass. It opens up.
Yeah, they have. I have a bunch of them. They have layers like
you
this.
You can't find them anymore.
No, they stopped making them. I think.
Really?
Because everywhere you go, and they've been sold out for years. I've been looking for years.
I mean, guys.
I have a soft bag too for quick fish where it hangs and you can just rinse them all out.
Yeah. So, Wilderness Pack Specialties. Mm-hmm. That guy makes some pretty sick. Like if you're looking for Wilderness Pack Specialties, look him up on Instagram. He makes some sick plug bags.
I'm all into the organization.
We might be working with him to get
I am too, can't you tell?
Yeah.
We might be making some custom addictive
I don't know.
ones.
I guess this one's caught a lot of fish.
That's another tributary one.
This one is just demolished.
That one is probably one of my favorite tributary.
All right, let's do some bait here, Cam. Unless we got any other questions about sizes or colors or...
Nothing like when scouting for potential plug spots, what structures are you targeting? And honestly, dude, sometimes it's rock, sometimes it's sandy beach, sometimes it's a
got my winter weight on, folks.
Depending, you gotta just think
got my winter coat on.
That fish, you have heavy current, maybe a slow current, maybe a shallow spot, and then a deeper trench. You have to just think, even when you're in the Columbia River or big water, you have to think of fish being forced to go into a lane. By, like I said, either current or structure or depth or whatever it is, and then having that plug in their way. So you can fish plugs around rocks, stumps, trees, wing dams, rocky banks, sandy banks. Try not to be vague, but depending on what river and what tributary you're fishing, it could be so different. But just think about always getting something in their way more than anything else.
Who wants to win something? Clint, before you do a giveaway or talk about rattles, which is what you were going to talk about, are you mic'd up?
Yeah.
Can everyone hear Clint?
They can hear me.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to start complaining.
The Clint.
Who did that?
That was perfect, Ryan.
Yeah, right. You think I... Come on, you know who it was.
Okay, guys, who wants to win a short bus flasher and some bloody tuna super gel from ProCure? Who wants to win it? Let's see. Tell me in the comments. Marlon, use your belly as bait. I don't know if that would work. I was talking about my fat belly. I said I got my winter weight on right now.
Oh, your shed hunting should be taking care of that.
I know, dude. I did, in the last 3 days that I shed hunted, I did 48 miles.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Did you smash the sheds?
Smashed them.
Smash the sheds.
How many ticks?
48 miles, 1 tick.
Oh,
That's it?
Oh, I'm out. Not going.
I got 1 tick, but my buddy Rob got one, and he...
Oh, let's not see this.
I don't even know what... Yeah.
Ticks.
Did he send me a picture? I thought he did. No, he didn't. He didn't send me a picture.
I was going to go turkey hunting today, but the ticks are so bad where I'm at, I don't even want to...
So Rob texted me, and he's like, dude, I just found a tick on me. It was already, like, dug in, so he's like, I would check yourself. And I went into the bathroom.
You got to check those soft, fleshy spots.
I stripped down fully naked, dude, and I did a spin just to make sure, freaking spread the butt cheeks, everything.
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking checked it all, right?
Oh, I hate
So then I called Colt, and I'm like, Rob said he got a tick, dude, you better check. Colt freaking goes in the sure as shit, dude, underneath, because he's got his little freaking mullet hair.
Oh, he's got the mullet.
He
Hey,
lifts up his mullet, dude, and right on the hairline.
There was a
one
guy where I'm
digging into his
fishing, he
net.
let his dog out, and I guess he had over 30 ticks on it, like, that fast.
Did you see what happened to Finn when he got bit by a tick?
No, I did not.
I hate ticks.
Dude.
When did he get bit?
So I took him shed hunting,
Yeah.
and he got a tick, like, in his ear, in the inside of his ear.
Oh.
And
let's not
dude,
talk about ticks. Go to
Look
comments,
at
Mark,
what it
for-
did to him.
Man, go in their comments.
Look at him, dude. I almost wish he looked like that. He looks fucking cool. He's all freaking swollen. His entire head swelled up.
It's like,
Oh, poor guy.
that's crazy.
Yeah, he like had an allergic reaction to the tick.
10 bags of candy, 48. One
Look at
tick,
my dog,
0
guys.
sheds.
Look at my dogs. His face got all swollen. You got 0 sheds?
Oh, no. He smashed the sheds. Smashed
No.
them.
Smashed.
Smashed them.
I didn't smash him, but here's one day.
Any other shed hunters out
found a
there?
few.
Holy crap, that's a pile of bone, bro.
Found a few.
Found a pile of bone.
Found a few. That was just one day.
Pile of bone.
Anything big?
Nothing. I didn't really find any like good bulls this year. The problem is, especially on the opener, I like to do a lot of the openers.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of these openers are midnight openers, and I just refuse to be the freaking dude that's down there with freaking lights. And so most of the dudes that go down there with lights, they mop up all the big ones before you even get down there because they're just easy to see.
Yeah.
And a lot of the areas are these like fields and these rolling
Do you
fields.
see all the spotlights like working around? Is it pretty crazy?
It's nuts. I mean, it's like freaking lights everywhere. It's freaking crazy. This year,
The elk are like, what in the hell is going on?
So I was talking to the game warden, the guy we talk to all the time. This year during the midnight opener, he said there was over 75 people sitting at the gate waiting for midnight
Oh, it's gotten
to like
popular.
go in.
It's
there.
like Drano Lake for sheds.
Yeah.
Right?
Did I tell you about
Anyway,
the
this isn't a
update on
shed
that?
hunting podcast or live feed.
Later. What?
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Secrets?
Shed. Shed. Shed hunting.
You're stupid.
Shed hunting.
He wanted me to pass the word around.
Hold on. Let's no, let's not get into that. That was a total miss on their behalf. Okay.
Okay, guys,
New price. Don't.
prize. 360 flasher, bloody tuna. Everyone's saying pick me, win. Let's just pick a winner.
No
Clint.
spinner on that one, huh?
No, we're just going to give away these two. Call good.
Ready?
Random prize packs, you never know.
Yep, pick a winner. Do it. And there it is, Mr. Phil.
Y'all should give away some Brads. Well, you didn't win any Brads, bud.
Phil Bowl. You won a short bus 360 flasher.
Did
And
you retire this
some
thing?
bloody tuna.
This
Super gel. Shoot us an email, orders at addicted.fishing. Make
To
sure
use the
you
box.
include
These
your
were-
name, your address,
So I
and
just,
let us know
like,
what you want.
checked them and I used the box for something else, so that's why I just got them all over. But like when I come to fall season or summer season, I'll go through all these and be like, this one, oh, not this one, this one. New comments.
I know.
Oh, sorry, Clint, I didn't mean to.
I know you do.
I do.
I just missed a call from Peter Griffin again.
Peter Griffin.
Yeah, Peter Griffin called in last week. And Trump, dude, Donald
Trump.
called in.
I only answered if Trump calls him. We need to hear what he has to say. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah,
About the sea lions.
Look at the text I got. I'm thinking not.
Okay, so let's wrap some plugs. We're going to do 3 wraps.
Brett, we're working on it, buddy.
Wrapping is
It's coming,
what
I
Marlon
promise.
does.
John, we will not, the store will be open
Yeah.
sometime in June, probably. It's going to be more of just kind of a showroom vibe. We're not really turning the whole thing into a store. We just decided we don't really have the capacity to do it, but we are going to have a little space where you can come
Did Ryan replace his kicker?
shop and buy.
Why'd you need to replace your
Last
kicker?
time I passed him, the poor kicker sounded like it was a 2-stroke. Actually,
Why don't you get rid of that little thing that rattles all the time?
It's the TR1 bracket that rattles. It's a brand new kicker and it makes the
I
same
know,
noise
but
as my
it was
7-year-old
doing that
kicker.
it was doing that last year, Bowie 10. I'm like, what the hell, bro? I was like,
It's actually the pins on the TR1.
"Yeah, take the pins out.
Then you wouldn't have a TR1.
Oh, put a rubber gasket on it. Duct tape. Duct tape fixes everything. bro.
It's kind of a signature sound you hear.
Oh god.
Yeah, dude. It's
He
like,
just likes to be like, check me out. I got a fish on when he revs. Got him.
You know what's funny
That's
is I
how
actually
he trolls, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I actually
That
took
kicker
off.
takes a
I
beating.
put my stock 3-blade on this year because I was running a lot of RPMs on a tributary steelhead fishing. And then I went down Lower Columbia Springer fishing where you're trying to troll super slow.
Yeah.
And I hated that 3-blade. It is night and day difference of the control you have on speed. And, you know, like you run the Mercury, they come factory with the 4-blade. So much smoother, less vibration. So on Columbia and places where I troll, I run my 4-blade Honda prop on the Yamaha. And if I'm
Smooths it out.
oh yeah, but if I'm bobber dogging, I want that more
That's
thrust.
power, yeah.
Yeah.
High thrust.
should have bought a Mercury.
He'll learn.
Then you don't have the option. I did buy a Mercury,
What'd you get?
250.
Ooh, big daddy.
I got 2 Mercuries now.
Nice.
There's not little
like
Mercuries.
I like it.
I got a 200 and a 250.
I just like to be able to go out and go, "Nyeh," my kicker starts right up even after like no tries.
4 years now. Mine is just freaking 3 years. No, because 3 years.
You got the 15.
My
I
Yamaha-
already know how many
You
hours
each
I
have the
on
15.
My
mine.
Yamaha,
Yeah.
7 years, still running strong. I just replaced it because the trim went out.
Some Mercury trim would run out.
7 years?
Mm.
No. Never would've.
And my Yamaha, that's
I heard of one,
Hey,
but
my
I'm
Yamaha
just
that's
kidding,
1 year
dude.
old. I have
you know what,
1,800
Ryan?
hours already. I put an hour meter on it in 1 year.
I know. I am curious what my kicker has. Mike, though, I bet.
Oh my gosh, I don't
yeah.
even want to know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mercury's a great motor, but
Anyways, we're
Kickers?
squirreling right now.
Yeah.
We're scrolling right now.
Don't you change your oil every 100 hours?
I change mine every
No,
fishery.
on my kicker?
mine.
Oh, hell
He
no.
is-
It's
he-
every
That's a
fishery.
true test to that freaking kicker. I mean, he's going on over 3 years with nothing.
No, that's not a 3-year-old kicker.
That's a 3-year-old kicker. It is a 3-year-old kicker.
Well, you got 4 more to go, and then we'll compare
Right.
motors.
Well, it's only been out. Those EFIs have only been out 3 years. I didn't have a chance. I wish you guys knew what we were talking about, but we're having our own great conversation, like right now.
We're arguing about.
On a side note,
we're
I didn't
arguing
even
what
change the
kicker
lower
motors are
gear
better.
unit oil.
What do you guys think? I already
For
know. I'm not
6
going to ask
years.
them because I already know what they're going to say.
What? Go ahead, ask him.
No, because he's going to win if we ask them. Guaranteed.
What's the number 1 kicker sold in America?
Exactly why he's going to win.
Yeah.
Number 1,
I don't know.
guaranteed,
We'll have to find
without
out.
a doubt.
Everyone listening right now, would you choose?
It's the
They
Honda
think
Civic
They
of
think
trolling
that,
motors.
right? They think that, but then you look at like
What?
stuff like I guess if you're saying kicker like small engine motor
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm not
for
talking mains.
nationwide. I don't know.
What was
99.
that old classic one that everyone, like the T8 or something?
That one was like the most popular freaking thing forever.
Yeah.
Look at the comments.
T99.
Vroom Vroom.
Yeah, see, this guy knows right here. Tahatsu, dude. Those are the ones. Dude.
Tahatsu makes Mercury. You can take the parts right off of them and swap them back and forth. So
Mercury. I mean, you
Mercury,
know, I don't
Mercury.
want to get into the motor talk, guys, because really at the end of the day, like,
And we're gonna have a Nelson in soon, so then we can talk
I was
motors.
gonna say, like, I am convinced, like, I don't really care what you say with your freaking Yamaha. Go drive my EFI; it's smoother. And I ran a Yamaha for freaking 10 years. So there's But technology and stuff advances. Like they've got dampeners on the EFI.
Eventually Yamaha will come out with an EFI.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Right. So it's like technology advances and like not a lot of people out there that are going to like formulate an opinion over one or the other didn't drive the other one for 10 years.
I just know when I throttle up my Yamaha, it goes vroom. When you throttle up at Mercury, it goes brum, brum. Sounds like an old lawnmower engine.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, dude?
When's the last time
That's a
you ran?
real analytical freaking.
When's
that's
the
a
last
good-
time you ran a Yamaha kicker?
He ran it for
5
years.
5 years ago.
He used Yamaha kickers for every.
I wouldn't
kicker
use
he ever
anything
owned.
else, and I fish a lot, and I wouldn't use
Yeah,
anything
this
else.
is also coming from the guy that said he never buy a Mercury big motor too. So.
And he just bought.
And you just bought two.
No, I have two.
The reality
Moving
is just like you
on.
said.
We
the
don't
reality
need to have
is
this
the technology.
conversation right
It's
now.
just one of those things.
We don't need to have this conversation right now.
It's the Toyota 22R.
Yeah, it's always fun. Get back on track,
I would
fellas. Thank
probably
you.
agree with you.
Then Jeffrey goes and says Evinrude and they're out of business. I don't know, but I heard they're coming out with the four
Evinrude
stroke.
didn't make their kickers either. Anything
I
under
heard Evinrude's coming out with 4-stroke. Someone told me that. I don't know.
I thought they went out of business.
They did, but I heard they like rebought, replanted. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
Weird.
Completely wrong. Complete bullshit. I think one of the Bass guys told me that. Yeah. Burr.
Do you know what else was
that's
a
real
really?
scientific.
You know what else was a really good kicker that I had for 3 years? Was a freaking Suzuki 99.
I know a guy that'll
It was
sell you.
also EFI.
I know a guy that'll sell you right now a Mercury off his Columbia because he wants the Yamaha. Because he had a Yamaha, got the Mercury, now he wants the Yamaha again.
Does he have the EFI?
No.
But see, like you can switch mine back. Like I wouldn't take it.
You have a 15. We're talking.
I have a 9.9 EFI.
It's the same freaking block, bro.
It's exactly the same.
It's exactly the same.
They're identical.
And the fact that I control that 15 down, even like to as low as I can for like the Kokanee and EFI, I just go boop, and I've done it for freaking 3.5 years. And I mean, honestly, like I treat my big motor like gold. I walk it into Stevens. I go, spare no expense. Do whatever you freaking want to do to that motor. I don't give a crap. The kicker, no, I'm just gonna blow it up and just get another one.
I'm surprised because Cameron
And you
drives
know
a
what?
Chevy. He should know better.
What?
Smoother. You drive a Chevy, you know. You ever ridden in a Ford?
Oh my God, we are like
Oh my god.
best baits for
Silverado.
plug.
All right,
Tuna
guys.
soaked in egg juice. Carlos, that's a good one.
Chevy, Ford, or Toyota?
Oh,
Let's hear it in the
geez,
comments.
Louise.
Oh my god.
Chevy, Ford, or Toyota, or Dodge? Let's hear it in the
We're
comments.
really doing.
Hey,
this.
if Toyota made a
2
diesel,
hours later.
if Toyota had diesels in the U.S., sold.
Look. If you're
Come on, y'all, it's getting late. All right, let's do it. Let's wrap these
T99
plugs.
is the one. Well, you don't know. Anyways,
Let's wrap these plugs.
A squirrel?
Wrap them. Side cam. Give me the camera.
Didn't you just do a tutorial on this?
But
Yeah, I
people,
did,
we
on
have new
Instagram.
people that
I saw it.
Yeah.
I even saw it. It was in your boat.
I
I
filmed it.
think Clint was part of it.
I
Did I do
filmed
a good
it.
job? Probably not.
No, probably not.
It looked
Go.
good.
No.
You catch any fish?
No, because I wrapped all the plugs that were in the water.
I don't think there was any fish.
Oh, here we go. Chevy. Oh, Toyota. I love it.
Chevys are winning right now. Come on.
That's all I own is
Chevy,
Chevy and
Ford,
Toyotas.
If it says Chevy, at least you're smart.
Dodge, Ram, Toyota.
Oh God, look what we did. Look what we've done. We're gonna break the feed right now. I knew this was coming.
Probably got the most people watching right now, huh?
Well over 300. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
GMC all the way.
Side quest conversations, exactly. Yeah. Where are we gonna go this week? Let's talk politics
Chevy, I
next.
actually like to get to work on time, he says. Tuna's still sitting open. Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, it is. And we still smell Tina.
I thought it was you.
Yoder, Dodge, GMC.
Jokes in there. Clint, oh my God.
I didn't say it out loud.
Hey, let's talk about
Are you gonna wrap that plug?
This guy says tuna wrap Chevy.
tuna wrap Chevy driven by a 9.9 kicker with a freaking 200 Merc. I don't know. What the fuck?
Oh
was
my
that?
god, I thought that was a can of tuna.
Dude, you're kind of knocking everything around tonight, aren't you?
Dude, freaking just
Wait till he
breaking
gets home.
everything. Just breaking everything.
Okay.
Yeah, when I get home, I'm gonna kill my dog.
Oh, poor dog. Okay, moving on. Okay, wrapping a plug, guys. So obviously, don't do this where you can't use no bait and no scent. Obviously, so you gotta always adjust.
Ford has heated taillights.
Okay, you can't obviously use anywhere you have bait and scent, like illegal. You can't use this stuff. But anyways, moving on. I'm going to do a couple wraps today because my herring's still frozen in that jar down there.
You
Show you the fish
comment.
wraps. Yeah, tuna wraps. So Ryan will give up some secrets. Ryan, do you want to do this?
No, those gloves are cute on you. I use the nice green or orange.
Yeah, you know what my green and orange ones? In my freaking boat. These
Addicted
ones are in my
gloves.
garage. Addicted gloves, that's true. They're too valuable to use here. Anyways.
Ryan will just judge you and critique you.
That's fine. He can. I don't.
Fish smell, hummingbird all the way, guaranteed.
Oh, God. Now we're...
Oh, my God.
What was that one?
He
Oh,
said Gardner
fudge.
hummingbird.
Oh, please. And I had both. There's one I would use. Moving on. Tuna out of a can. Setting it right here. Boop, boop, boop. Putting a pretty big chunk. Probably a little oversized than what I want. Because I'm going to squish it down with thread. Canned tuna. Chunk light, if you will. The big chunky stuff sometimes is harder to wrap, so you get the chunk.
I feel like I always do way more than that. Probably too much.
Just let it happen. Let this happen.
Starfish?
Is that all you normally
Bumblebee
use? Is that much?
or chicken of the sea?
It's whatever can was in oil that I had at the store.
Well, they sell all three, so if they're all three are on the shelf, which one are you?
I'm already critiquing,
Bumblebee.
but silently right now.
Yep, go ahead. I'm just adding. I'm putting a base layer down.
No, you go clockwise, huh? Weird.
Oh God, shut up.
All right.
Shut up. Don't say a word. It's not even close to being done. Wrapping the tuna.
I've seen this guy catch a lot of damn fish on plugs, so I think he knows what he's doing here.
All right, at least I was like, if he's not putting it in front
Oh my
of that
God,
swivel, I
shut.
was
Are you
like,
really?
Jesus.
Really, bro? Really? You want to have it out? Let's have it out, bro. We'll see you down at. Oh no, you go.
Yeah, let's get a plug competition going.
He
I'll
goes.
get
He
two
goes
camera
after all the
guys.
sunburned ones. That time of year. Well, it's really hot over there. Look at
That
that.
fishery's fun. I want to come back and do that again.
I want to do it on July 1st. All right, guys, look at this. So, as you can see, it's not really all that uniform yet. I just kind of
Beautiful now.
slapped some meat on there, but you can actually go through and kind of, if you have like it off to one side or the other, you can take your thumb and kind of like push it up. You can kind of manipulate the bait because you don't want it to be lopsided, right? You want that to be pretty like centered up straight. And you want to have it like to where it's not interfering with this hook. You don't want it, you want to make sure that hook is free. You don't want that thing getting pinned up by a bunch of bait and getting all cockeyed and all weird, right? So you want that to be free. You want to put a little bait above the hook. As you guys can see, I put forward of the hook. And on the back, I didn't go all the way to the tail too. I think that's
Just
really
for the people that
important.
don't know, kind of turn it over a little bit. I like to wrap right here on the seam on these.
To the seam.
Yep, right
That's a
to the
good call.
seam.
That's a
For
good
guys
call.
that
Yep.
haven't done it before.
There's a little crease right here. I don't know if you guys can see it.
And the killer fish and the quick fish
Yeah,
have
you can
that
see
same
you can see
seam.
that
That's
line.
what I talked to Clint about that when we were out there. It's just
Did you square them away good? So you'd wrap your plug.
yeah,
right
he
to that
had
side
like,
perfect.
literally
Yeah.
there was
You
once
guys had some seam
there was
talk?
once where he literally wrapped over the like eyelet.
Oh, perfect. That's
Yeah, that's going a little bit too far, Clint.
Shit, he might as well just get his guide license right now.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, I
I got it.
Anyways,
Just waiting for my credentials.
Yeah.
anyway, so
yeah.
you're gonna be able to move this bait
Look me
around. Couple takeaways, like I said, don't go all the way back, don't go all the way forward. Get some balance to the plug. You can kind of see there. You got some meat. Obviously, you can add lots of sense to that. When you want to end this wrapping, you can't just wrap it like a bunch in one spot and just pull it tight and break it. But if you take these bottom two fingers holding it and wrap around, and you see how I'm making, oops, Marlon, help me out there. See how I'm making like a loop with my hands there? I'm just going to do it a couple times. See how I got a loop kind of going on?
Mm-hmm.
You can take that thread, wrap it through that loop twice, just let it go, and like just kind of keep pulling on it until it cinches down and breaks.
And honestly, you
And
guys,
coming off.
the tuna out of the can wraps so much easier than tuna belly because
Yeah,
it's
You have
just
to
more
cut.
consistent.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So talk about like tuna belly, because like tuna belly works great.
But
and
it's
it is
thick
natural.
and there's different fleshes in it.
gotta
You got to
be
like
careful
cut it
with
in
it.
half, and it's
Right.
the canned tuna. You can really get a better consistent wrap on plugs, which helps with tuning them.
Where did you even get those lunch lady gloves?
I just have boxes in my garage for just doing odds and ends bait stuff. I don't want to use my big, nice, expensive, freaking addicted glove work.
It doesn't make sense to use those for this kind of stuff.
Duh.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Why do you use for your?
Sorry,
why
Cameron.
don't you use those
You
lady
don't
light-
sound like him.
Yeah, I did.
You got to get a little more high pitch.
God, he can't even put the cry cam on there right. Hold on, wait, no, right. No, wait, there you go.
Would canned cat food work? It would work, I
Yes,
guess.
it would.
Hey, the only thing I see when I see that cry cam is even when Cam was a baby, he was still catching more salmon than you.
Hey, whoa!
Damn right. I don't know. Yeah, there you go.
So let's talk apples to apples.
you
Let's
can
see
add-
Cameron fly a plane.
Cameron ain't flying no plane.
Let's see Cameron ride in a plane with me.
Why the hell would I do that? I've seen you drive a boat. I've seen you try to fish. Why the hell would I get in a plane with you?
Oh, I hate you
Okay,
guys.
moving on.
I feel like he's probably pretty good at that, just like we are at fishing.
Exactly.
That's why I said apples to apples.
Canned tuna or bloody tuna
That's
scent.
not bad.
You can add a lot of different scents to your tuna, whether it's anise, garlic, bloody tuna, shrimp krill, whatever you might want to add. The tuna is a great sponge for adding to that. In fact, I think it was Steve was talking about, if you want to add additional procure oils to the tuna, it's better to go and buy the tuna in water, strain off with the lid,
It soaks up the scent better.
Exactly. what
squeeze
I
the
do.
water and make it more of a sponge, and add your oil to it. But tuna oil, for whatever damn reason, is really good for salmon. So, depending on what you want to do, if you want to really be different.
I mean, keep it simple.
So one thing you
go-to.
guys can do is just like Cam said, is I'll get there's these little square plastic Tupperware containers, and I'll get the tuna and water, just like you said, get rid of all the water, and then I just will mix up a few with different Procure oils, and then just be using them throughout the day. It works really good.
And there's definitely times I see where that's the ticket over just the straight tuna out of the can,
Addicted salmon blend,
Mm-hmm.
Smash Town.
And the water's above 60. Yeah. Also, what's really nice about wrapping plugs is don't be afraid to go in the garage the night before and wrap about 8 to 10 of these, whether you're fishing a tributary, whether you're fishing Columbia, whatever. And you can pre-wrap a lot of your plugs to where when you get out in the river, you're rushing to get out there. You want the last thing you want to do is get out there, get set, and then sit and wrap plugs for 20 minutes, 25 minutes trying to get them.
That's what I do when my other
And then
rods
you don't
are out.
rush, and then you don't rush. Well, no, I like to have a set, and then I put rods out, whether I'm back trolling, whether I'm anchor fishing, and then get another set while those are working. And
Here's a good question. Someone said, about how long does canned tuna last wrapped in a plug? I would say, fish it for an hour, rewrap it. The more you rewrap it, the more scent you're going to put off. It's not that the tuna is not going to be there, but even tuna belly or anything you wrap your plug with, it's going to lose scent over time. So it's not a bad thing to constantly be rewrapping it. And
Every time I've ever one of the things I learned from Cam fishing with Cam with plugs over the years is he's just the whole time you're out there, he's just at the back of the boat, just wrapping plugs.
I think we do that because we have nothing else to do if the rods aren't firing.
You're waiting for a bite, and you want to get another set ready. But the reality is everybody who's plug fished for any amount of time, whether it be tributary, Columbia, whatever, has put out a wrap plug and just a few moments later just boom,
on that wrap.
big fresh wash of scent right.
You see the
through.
oil just running off of it.
So having just like when we're cup plug herring fishing, just like when we're trolling 360s and coon shrimp, just like anything, fresh is best. Always keeping your bait fresh, always keeping your bait hot is really good. And plug, it really allows you to do it. So 45 minutes to an hour, kind of max.
And I know some guys, they'll leave their tuna for days, and I dump it every day. Fresh can every day.
Oh yeah, I do too.
But I know guys that'll fish tuna for 3-4 days sitting in their cooler in their Tupperware, and
I'll do that, but I don't think it rots.
For me, it's just so cheap. It's
It is
Yeah,
so cheap.
you're
A lot of
talking
times,
79 cents. I just freshen
a
her
lot of
up.
times the stuff that I'm making for tubs, I'll do 2 or 3 different tunas,
Oh yeah.
and I have different scents that.
Now the only
I
time
will
I'll
say when
I'll
I'm doing
run it
that, I do keep it
as long as I keep it on ice. Now if it's
cold.
sitting on the back
Oh.
sink of my boat, gone.
Yeah.
Every day, gone.
Yeah.
And scent's pretty cheap too. You're not using a lot when you're putting it in the tuna.
Making it the night before and whatnot.
Are you gonna coon shrimp wrap that maglet?
One of the only springers that I landed this year was on herring that was cured 3 days before I went fishing and just sat in my boat the whole time, and then I put it out and caught a springer on it.
Oh yeah.
Bing, bing, bing. Well, it wasn't it was really warm. outside at all during spring
Probably
season?
snowed in your
Oh,
boat.
yeah, exactly.
So really, it was probably just like you threw it right in the fridge.
It was. They were starting to get really leathery, though. I remember that. I remember looking at them and going, "Oh man, these things are turning into like leather." Okay, now we're gonna show these what a coon wrap looks like.
Yes.
YouTube took a video down the other day of one of our videos because it had coon in it. I was like, "It's coon shrimp, you idiots!"
I mean,
What's the
I get it.
politically correct term?
I don't
Anyways.
even care, dude.
here's a mag lip.
Freaking
And
YouTube.
what we're going to do, and especially as we're getting closer to steelhead season for summers or for sockeye, whether it's the Columbia River tributaries, like a coon shrimp wrap mag lip is absolutely freaking deadly. So these just happen to be the prawns. It's going to have a little more meat. These are the millennial coon shrimp, of course. Great base to start with. What we're going to do, I'm going to take apart the... by the way, I'm taking this towel. I just realized I spilled tuna all over this.
It's
This
going
is
to
be
stink
disgusting,
really
so I'll take
bad.
this towel home.
Sweet.
So, tail out. Boop. And you can wrap tuna on a mag lip, by the way. So don't think that like you have to do the coon shrimp on the mag lips. And no, you can wrap tuna on this. Absolutely. I'm going to shave off this tail right here. Just pinch that off. And now I got like the tail meat. I got this chunk of meat right here.
Hey, really quick. Hey, Daniel,
Yeah.
we have a ton of YouTube videos. If you want to learn anything trout, we probably have 300 trout fishing videos on our YouTube channel. So just go to our YouTube channel, check out the playlist, and look at the trout videos. And there's a lot of really good information in it that'll teach you everything you want to know about trout.
We got a tail. Here, you guys can see the tail. And I'm going to do this very carefully. I'm just going to kind of give it a little bit of a slice down the middle. I'm not going all the way through the bait.
Never cut towards yourself, folks.
Well, I totally am.
I
That's why I
use
said be
scissors when I
careful.
do that.
I'm not cutting through the bait. I just want to be able to open it up so I can flatten it out, and you'll see why in a second. As you can see there, how it's kind of like opening up like that. And basically, I'm making a flat surface, and you can kind of see I got some of that meat like up there. You guys see what's going on there?
Meat.
Just a prawn freaking meatball there. I'm going to rip off some of these legs just because we don't need them.
Looks like it's glowing on the camera.
It does. It does look really weird on the camera, but
Look, watch, it looks like it's glowing.
Dude, that's what the millennials do. That's why they catch fish.
Yeah. Millennials.
These things are radioactive, guys.
Anyways, gonna hook that piece of meat. I'm gonna wrap it, just push it up against the hook. I'm not gonna go too much far forward on a mag lip. I don't really need to. I don't really want to, but you can see I got the hook there, and the tail is just kind of flattened out on the side. You guys can see that. Back off a little bit. It's really like
How come meat down?
just to make it a little easier to wrap because if it's the curvature.
I think
Seems
if
like
you
a
look at it,
really
it's still the
big
same
ass chunk.
concept. Like,
I just let me finish. It is a big chunk, but I always can remove a little bit of meat. I can't add to it.
no, I'm talking
Lord knows I tried.
I'm talking placement of your meat.
Just
Don't you like have it go a little
oh my
bit?
gosh, you guys, let me get. You guys want to do it?
I'm not
I
wearing
care if
those
you put some
gloves.
gloves on, right? Okay, so obviously I've got a big old hunk of meat there, and just like with tuna and any bait wrap, you do not want to put so much on the bait wrap that it like affects the action of the lure. You're trying to add scent. You're not trying to make a freaking like golf ball sized bait on the bottom of a little 3.5 here. I am going to remove some of the meat and I'm going to flatten that out. I'm going to get rid of some of these chunks here. We're going to kind of like dress it up a little bit. I'm going to dress it up a little more. You can see I'm just kind of just using my fingers, tearing it apart. Now, smashing it down, making it flat.
If you're summer steelhead fishing, guys, you better do
don't-
this
yeah,
every
see,
single
if
time.
You don't freaking do it. Now, okay, is that looking better, guys? Is that looking a little better?
Kinda.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You guys are so mean. Now let me
You
wrap
want
it.
the scissors?
Nope. No, I don't.
Whoa! What?
What's happened again?
Oh my gosh, we're breaking everything tonight. I can't
No.
wait to redo the studio. Cody comes tomorrow.
Yes.
Cut that
Now, one thing
out.
cool about mag lips is they have all these little grooves in the side. But by the way, this is also a custom mag lip that I painted, and I just realized that. And yeah, so don't go looking for this one. All you painters out there, feel free to copy.
I think I tried to take that from you one day.
You
remember?
probably did.
Then you're supposed
made
to
a bunch
paint
of
me
these.
some, and
I never
you're
did.
still waiting.
Still waiting. Yep. That's
Screwed.
the rules of my painting garage. Come over and I'll paint them with you. Putting a little bait wrap there. Putting a little bait. Making sure that that hook is free. There.
Yeah, I didn't do
Now
that.
I'm going to mash this. Clint. Yeah, I didn't do that.
I'm gonna stab you.
Boom. Now I've got a prawn wrap. Doing the tie off. Boom. Tell me that won't freaking get it done. Look at the
Looks
wrap.
pretty
It's
freaking
even.
fire.
A little heavy on the tail, but once you kind of like, you don't be afraid to kind of go in there and kind of even it out.
Ridgefield ghost thread, guys.
Oh, there is no other thread. Ridgefield ghost thread. Buy the bulk ones. They have like the 2-packs. I go in there and I freaking, or I order them and or find them in the stores wherever I can get them. I just clear the freaking. Yeah, absolutely the best thread known, man. Anyways, there you go. A coon shrimp wrapped mag 3.5.
That one looks good.
That will smash a sockeye or smash a some steelhead or a or summer chinook. They will eat them too.
I wrap with a lot of just store-bought prawn.
Oh, just raw
Raw,
or cooked.
because it's easier to wrap than
Oh,
a cured
interesting.
shrimp.
Raw prawn.
And
I know. I've been known that raw prawn works for some species of fish.
Man, I never even
That's a
thought about
good
doing that,
idea.
dude.
Me neither.
you know, like what they ate in the ocean their whole life.
Shut up.
What about squid? You ever do squid?
I haven't done that yet.
You know, like what they're eating in the ocean the whole lives.
It's like the #1 thing they eat in the ocean. Steelhead.
How many salmon have you caught this year?
1.
That's one more.
How many
than-
days? How many days have we fished steelhead after March 16th? None.
I'll be fishing them here soon.
I got 4 this year. I think this.
But you
summer
did get
run-
some in February though. You got
13
some.
I got
Yeah.
summer run in February,
13 more days, we'll go smash.
and I think this summer run season's going to be really good.
I've been hearing
questions on bait wraps.
really
guys.
good things about tributary summer steelhead fishing.
I got 3 hens and a buck before the end of March,
That's good to hear.
and generally I only catch like maybe
Richard
1 or
S.,
0.
thank you so much for the super chat. And everyone that super chats us every week, thank you so much. We appreciate you. As you know, when you super chat, it just helps us out. It goes back to the channel, it goes back to what we're doing. Just so you guys know, in the coming weeks, tune in with us because we're going to be making a bunch of set design changes to the whole live feed studio. We have a whole bunch of things. We're going to be changing the cameras. We're going to be doing different backlighting. We are going to
going nuts.
majorly up the quality of the production here. So
Do you guys
in the
think we
coming
need
weeks,
to?
stay tuned.
You guys all really think we need to though, or do we want to?
I think
I mean,
I think you need a lure tank so you can show the tune, spin,
that'd be kind of fun.
brads. A lure tank
What
would
do
be
you think I'm
cool.
putting right there?
That'd be awesome.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
That would be cool.
Already bought it. Got a fish
That
tank
would
off.
be cool. Do you have a
Facebook
little
Did you
more?
get off
lures?
that one I saw? That what's his name?
It's just a big fish tank I got off Facebook Marketplace.
Are you gonna have like a
Who was
little
it?
fan where you can like move current so you can see the lures?
That's
in
what
it?
I was thinking. Yeah, so we
Oh,
can
yeah.
like run stuff in there and
Yeah,
have.
Did
then
you
we
see-
can actually show people how to tune a plug
Yep.
like in depth.
That's
Did you
what I
see
was
that one? The Rivtech, I think it was called,
Yeah.
was selling.
Oh, you selling it?
Mhm.
Hit that.
That's
guys.
just like big test tank though, right?
Yeah, it was his test tank. It was
Who's
awesome.
selling it?
The guy that makes those beads that are blinky. I think it's called Rivertech.
I think it's
Is it still for sale?
This was quite a while
Cam,
ago.
any Springer openings? Todd, you're Team Clint, so no.
Todd's Team Clint. Yeah, lots of people are. Don't you remember last week?
I know.
Okay,
I almost didn't come in this week. It was so bad.
I know.
Yeah, I was so distraught.
Alex texted me. What did he say? Like,
Oh yeah, he said something about like watching Cameron's face reading the comments right now made my
That's
year
right.
or something like.
Well, that's good to know because I was going to give him a steelhead rod, but now I'm not.
Here, let's see what.
Yeah. Pound sand, Alex.
You're so mean.
I know.
Seeing Cam speechless as the whole live feed roasted him was the highlight of my year.
he needs a steelhead rod?
No.
Why doesn't he ask me?
Calling asking for advice on what he should get. I told him like I probably have one for you. They probably have a few 99 laying around. Yeah, but no, now I'm not.
Sorry, Alex, if you're watching, you just got screwed.
Oh,
Now everyone roast Cam again.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh, there we go. Wait, there it is.
Okay, guys,
But you know the
it's
difference?
8:25. Any
Real
last
fast.
minute questions?
Real fast, but you know what's the significance about that cry cam was like I'm still holding a salmon, which is still one more salmon than you've ever held, bud.
what?
Anyways, moving on.
That's what I already said.
Oh, you did? Oh.
You're right. I've
When do you
never
add
held a
salt to your tuna
salmon in
whenever
my
you want?
entire life.
Cry cam me a river.
Yeah,
Oh,
salt.
you're
One of
funny.
KWGDC. That's just one of those things. Again, you can add salt, you can add sulfites, you can add scents, you can add all sorts of stuff to your tuna to kind of doctor it up.
Monster bite.
In the fall, there is some chemicals from Procure that if you put it in your tuna, I'm telling you right now, it makes a big difference.
I saw a guy put mustard in his tuna one time and smash fish on anchor right next to me.
Really?
Mustard.
On a sandwich?
One
No.
thing that
On his tuna.
dude, back in the day when I did a lot of plug fishing with Jerry, dude, I'm telling you right now, like, you'd be surprised, but bacon works really good. Like, extremely good. We used to do that all the
Who
time.
doesn't love bacon?
Yeah.
Rattle,
Probably people
rattle,
allergic
no rattle.
to pork.
Oh, rattle, no rattle. I've always been a rattle guy, but I can tell you, like, it is kind of weird, like,
I've seen it either way.
talking to, like, some of the bass guys, and you seen that, like, going, like, no rattle and, like, the significance of that. It's a different fish. I get it, but there are a lot of plug companies that will make, there's some of the killer fish are no rattles. Like,
I also
on purpose.
know lots of dudes that drill little tiny freaking holes in them
And glue them.
and glue them so they don't rattle. And
Yeah.
they just,
I've seen where the no rattle was just putting on the clinic compared to the rattle plug. Like, it was too much with the rattle.
That's what I'm saying. What do you do?
Yes, you guys. Richard, I do need to do that. Me and Cam talked about that. I want to get all these guys with a gear that they can give out when they're out and about.
Is this the Richard I saw at the river a few days ago? I think it might be.
How did you like the bonker, you said?
Yes, that is the Richard.
Yeah, guys, I know.
Dead
That's
rough bonker.
even my own self, like, I freaking fail sometimes. Like, I actually been buying people's, like, because sometimes if I run into an addicted fan, I'm like,
Yeah.
damn it, I wish I had, like, a hat or something
know.
for him. So, like, I told Cam, like, the other day in the gas station, I bought a dude's chew. He's buying a bunch of chew.
Yeah.
I just bought it all for him. I'm like, hey,
Bad habits,
I'm like, let me
Marlon.
get
Come
your chew
on.
for you, dude. So I bought his chew for him, and then I paid for
No, we
somebody's
do.
dinner one night.
We do need to do
Dude,
that.
it's like, we love your guys' support. Any way we can give back to you, we're going to do it. So we will make sure that in the coming weeks, Cam has stuff in his boat. We'll have stuff in our boat. So if you guys see us, we can throw some stuff out to you.
Yeah, maybe I'll just go to the. I can't go to the shop tonight and get a collection. So not yet.
But we'll get it. We'll get you hooked up.
Cam, my son wants to fish with you. Just email me, bro. Go to my website, gonecatching.com.
Oh, David Cook, we have not given Cam the sweatshirt yet. He hasn't been into the shop, and I forgot about it. So I will get it to him. Oh, he hasn't been in, David. So
Yeah.
I've been.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll get it to you, buddy.
Yep.
Any last minute plug fishing questions before we get another prize pack going and kind of wrap up the night? It's 8:30.
It's 8:30. It's past my bedtime, and I am gonna.
I don't
These
think
guys
I'll
all
get
gotta
back
go.
till about 10:15.
Oh, you're crazy. What do you think? What do you think about the Springer season, bro? You gonna? How long are you gonna fish Springer still? June 16th.
Well, I don't. After June 1, we can't call them springers.
No, it's
anymore.
June 16th because that's when the summer Chinook season opens, and they're called summer Chinook. I don't know what Bonneville counts, but that's what the state calls them. June 16th is summer Chinook.
I'll be catching a few summers at the end of May.
Oh yeah,
I saw them last year.
if it opens up, or do they drop in?
At certain places, they still
They
drop in.
They drop in there.
Oh, yeah, you can just tell they got white bellies and they got
Oh
shoulders
yeah,
on
they
them.
got white bellies. Yeah, up there.
Yeah.
Those stocks.
And they have
That's
shoulder. They're just bigger fish. They're like high teens, and But till about the 28th of May, and then I'm gonna move somewhere down low.
I think, yeah, when it opens, I think the guys that are gonna stick with this salmon run, the
Yeah.
guys that haven't been disenchanted and bummed by the dam counts, and the guys that are gonna fish late are gonna get rewarded this year, big time. That's my prediction. So, like, if you guys have the opportunity to get out there over the next few weeks, I would.
I think this
don't
run's
sleep
about
on
2 weeks late from
Yeah.
normal.
it. I think it's 2 weeks late.
So 2 weeks later than what we think. It's gonna be good.
Okay, guys, we are going to give away some anise bloody tuna oil,
Oh, Clint, don't pat yourself on the back.
A
You finally
rooster
figured
tail.
it out. Come on. After I did all this.
and a Stevens Marine hat. This one actually looks pretty sick with the blue. I actually like the blue.
I like the blue. The red, I mean,
It looks really dope.
it does look good.
So we're going to
Flat
give away
bill.
a snapback, some Procure, and some Rooster Tails. If you want an opportunity to win,
I'll put it on. And give it
please just give this video. Everyone that's on
Should I
YouTube
put it
right
on
now,
for
head
you?
over and thumbs up the video. If you're on Facebook, share it out there. Do whatever you can to kind of help us get the word out there more, guys, and try to get some more people into these live feeds. And drop a comment below and let us know what your biggest salmon is you've ever caught. I want to know, all the people in the comments, what is the biggest salmon Actually, doesn't look bad on you, pop off.
I was just gonna say, am I pop off?
Yeah. What's the biggest salmon you guys have ever caught? Drop a comment.
Biggest salmons.
We're just gonna randomly select someone from the
Stink
comments.
on the hat. I figured something like that was coming. Hold on.
Mine was in Ryan's boat.
Head lice.
Headlights. Shut up. Lice free, bro.
That was a good one, huh?
New comments.
Gosh, I know. This thing is. That hat is sick. Well, you can win it last, boys.
I don't know about Cameron and
flat
flat
bill.
bill. That's just not working.
No, you look stupid.
I can't wear one either, dude. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I can't either. They look dumb on me. It's you.
And they hurt my head. I don't
feel
know the
like
way.
to wear a flat bill and have it look good, you have to have a big ass head. Like if you look at Jordan and Popoff's heads, they're just like giant.
Right.
They're like huge heads. So the flat bills just look
So
better.
you're saying we got small heads?
I'm saying that all of us have pretty average sized heads, where Popoff and Jordan have
big
giant melons.
round heads.
Yeah.
Big round melons. I should give a flat bill to my buddy Casey.
Okay, let's
He
see
has
what
the
people are going
small-
on here.
Casey has the
33
smallest
pounds.
hat size, like
Oh, Larry
like
Richard
it's
got a
like
40,
kid size.
61,
Yeah,
61 pounds in the Rivers Inlet in 2005. That's
Nice.
a freaking
That used to be
giant.
an awesome fishery.
donkey. Flat bill all the way. Cam looks like a 90s skater. Gone a handful.
He
of
did. He
times.
looked like Rob Deerdeck.
Yeah.
No, not me.
25 pounds. I want to see some monsters. Like someone drop like an 80 pounder in here.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Clint.
Do Sam?
I didn't say anything,
Cameron.
Cameron.
Cam.
God, I hate you. God, I hate you.
33-pound, mid-July. Lucas, what does that say? 1 pound? I don't know what that means.
1 foot.
1 foot.
43.
Back in the 90s, I caught a 60 plus. That river is closed now. That sucks, Mike. 44 pound,
How
57
big was the one
pound.
you caught last year in your photo, Ryan, at Booty 10?
It's about 38 pounds, I would say, like solid.
Good one.
I can lie and say 84 pounds. Does that make you happy?
57.
What's the biggest you've caught at Buoy 10, you think?
Not anything above 40. I've gotten a few like in that mid 30s, upper
Yeah.
30s. Like
38
over
to
the
40
years.
is probably my biggest there. I had one year, a guy broke a rod, and that thing was probably 52 pounds, and we fought it for 45 minutes. Came up, the guy had never caught a fish before from California, and he heist. I'm like this. I can just see it coming up sideways like this. It's just done. And I'm like this down to scoop it, and all of a sudden, I feel the rod tip hit my head, and the guy... He tried to argue with like 5 of his other buddies. I go, did he high stick that? Did he high stick that? And it broke the rod. Normally we get him with braid, but it cut the braid. And I watched this fish just like this. Didn't even just disappeared into the.
I would have jumped in.
And
If I saw one
this
that
was
big, there's
back
a good
before we
chance I
had
might
the
have
Young's
just
Bay
freaking jumped
closure. It was right in front of West Basin in the deep water. And it took runs down in that 70 feet of water like 4 times. And the guy's like, oh, I'm hung up. Because it would just hold on the bottom. I'm like, no, you're not hung up. Don't overpressure it. Just be easy on it.
Remember that?
How big was that one you lost with Casey?
It wasn't like in the. It was a nice big one, but it wasn't like above 30. Remember that 38 we caught on live with like 1,500 people watching? The very next day, I hooked a fish. I know I told you about it, but you probably don't remember. But the very next day, we're fishing, same area. Gal hooks a fish, and it like just whoop, takes the rod, whatever, fish on, everyone up. She's reeling it. And she's just, doing what a fall should do. Like to just come right to the boat. She comes to the boat. I swear to God, that thing was as long as this freaking table. Like, it came up to the boat. And this was the morning after we caught that big one on live, which was just a freaking donk show.
Yeah.
I could not believe how big it was. And it ran to the side of the boat. And, of course, it was like just from me to the wall away. And it just came by, and it was like, it's gonna run, get ready. And I said that, and it just freaking whoom, under the boat. It takes that rod, just goes, boom, blows the freaking whole thing up. Not the rod, the line. Just boom, breaks the main line, just like that. It was the biggest fish I've hooked in the Columbia in the last 20 years. And
Jeez.
yeah, it was big. But
I've had two.
there's some scary ones out there.
There is. I've had 2 where we just never even saw them. and we know they were huge. Who knows how big they were? But I hooked one with Jeff Lish one time, dude, that we fought for like 25 minutes. Never saw it. And I mean, it just was doing these massive runs, and then it just broke. It broke 40 pounds. Yeah.
I don't know. You hear it all the time, like, oh, I'm going to go to buoy 10 and catch a 40, 50 pounder. It's like, dude, you know how many of those I've seen in my life fishing there?
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to get them upriver a little bit.
They'll get netted.
Well, I don't know if they get netted, but like you get them upriver.
That's why we don't see as many big fish anymore.
Yeah, but a lot of
Well,
those
they
big
don't get
fish,
netted,
I
they
feel
kill
like
in the ocean.
Yeah.
I feel like they
yeah.
fly through buoy 10. Like we catch more of your cookie cutters down there than what a lot of people think.
It's weird. I feel like it varies year to year because there's some years where I'm like, frick, dude, he's like just.
I think some of the
You guys
bigger,
are just smashing all these big ones.
I think the
Some-
Yeah, but
I think
nothing
the
over
real-
like 30.
Oh,
Like,
no,
I think
like
the
in
real-
the 30s,
yeah,
30s, yeah.
25
I think
to
the
30
real
pounders.
giants, like the real big ones that still run up the Columbia. Not the real giants, because like obviously, like I'm not talking like 50s, 60s, but like the big 30s, maybe low 40s. They just show up later. I think because anytime you've seen like those really big ones from other people posting, or
Yeah, but I can't say that because some of the
in
biggest ones are
September-
like the first 5 days in August. Like I feel like there's a push of big ones before the bulk
You
of the
just
run.
got done saying you don't see those big ones at buoy 10, but what I'm saying is like I go. You probably don't see them at buoy 10 because when they're at buoy 10, we're not at buoy 10. We're upriver.
Yeah, I'm just saying. In all the years I've fished down there, it seems like I get a couple big ones when fishing's a little tougher, like the first 7 days in August. And then all of a sudden you just get into cookie cutters, and then right when we get shut down, you start seeing big fish show up again.
But that's why I think you see them like more like
Later.
mid-September,
Yeah.
like big upriver brights and stuff like that. You can just see later on. But
Hopefully we get some
But
giant
it's been a
fish.
grind up there.
I will say every single year at the Hanford Reach, at that tournament, every year
Yeah.
there's a couple 40s that are
Yep.
put into the tank.
Yeah.
Every year.
and those are fish that are generally they're up. You know, in most of the buoy 10 fishery, whether we want to believe it or not, are late summers, late springs, or toolies, and upriver brights generally show the third, fourth week down there. So when we don't get that long at them, shuts
make it
down. We
upriver.
move upriver in September, and we find them.
Yep, makes sense. Cool. Let's pick a winner.
Yeah.
It was not a sea lion, Carlos. It was a freaking salmon.
You know where a lot of big fish get caught?
There we are,
Not the
Rich.
Deschutes.
Mr. Rich.
Upriver
How do you
Are
pronounce
they
your last
are they
name?
Deschutes
Rich?
fish?
I think they're Deschutes fish.
Lafrio?
Is it, remember that?
No
when that-
idea.
Rich
Travis
Lafrio.
guy
I
got
probably
caught.
butchered your last name. I'm sorry, but you won
I don't know.
a Stevens Marine hat. Shout out to Stevens Marine for
Kids.
sponsoring the live feed. We got a rooster tail for you, and we got you some Annis Bloody Tuna. Shoot us an email to orders@addicted.fishing. Make sure you include your name, your address. Let us know what you want, and we'll get it shipped out to you. Appreciate you.
Holograph. Oh my god. Okay, so
What are you talking about?
nothing. I was trying to figure out that word. I wanted that word a couple nights ago when I was talking with Blair and Casey in the hotel room. Holograph. That's what the word I was looking for.
Oh wow, great
Something
story.
totally crazy. Talk about squirrel. Yeah. Oh wow, man, shut up.
He just says,
All right, guys, real
"Oh,
fast.
wow, great story, Pam."
Yeah, I said nobody in the world has any context on that. But holograph, that was the word I was looking for. Real
we're-
fast, guys.
Thanks for watching, Victoria. Thanks for watching,
Yeah,
everyone.
appreciate you guys watching. If you guys want to do some great springer fishing, the best is yet to come. Mark, well, unless the run completely collapses and then maybe today was the best. I don't know. But odds are the best is yet to come.
Pictures.
We're going to have lots of Chinook fishing going on through
You have
there.
them?
Be sure to, if you guys are looking for a trip, if you guys want to do anything, if you guys want to wrap plugs, if you're doing anchor fishing, you want to do 360 fishing with Ryan, get out there, give Ryan a call. He'll come out there, he'll get you some big fish.
So we're going to show you guys some
Those are
pictures,
some
guys.
pictures
If
that are going
you
on right now.
if you want to catch springers, which is the best eating salmon on the planet, or you just want to learn from a guy who is probably one of the best 360 fishermen I've ever seen, go out with Ryan. We're going to throw you some pictures here that he's been getting. He's been catching a lot of springers up at his haunt. Where are you fishing?
Above Bonneville.
Above Bonneville. So he's up above Bonneville, guys. So if you guys want to go into the fisheries and hang out with Ryan and do this fishery,
bench.
dude, you can't. I don't think you can experience better.
And I do
spring
have,
salmon
I got
fishing.
4 seats open on Monday, and
Cameron's
then
getting
Tuesday,
delusional,
Wednesday,
yes.
I'm wide open right now. And it should be just smashing next week.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, guys, and what was the other day?
4 seats open on Monday.
4 seats open on Monday, and then full boat on Tuesday, Wednesday, guys. So I highly recommend giving Ryan a call. Get out there, Riverside Guide Service. Look them up on Facebook.
RiversideGuide.com.
RiversideGuide.com.
Melissa.
Melissa.
RiversideGuide.com.
Melissa. 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 Yep.
Let's get them. Counts are good. Water temp came up right
the
where I
best
like it. It's
is
like
yet
48 to
to
the 50
come.
range. It changes with the snow melt, but
I
They're-
think we have still.
they're smashing right now.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun if you get out with him, guys. I highly recommend it. I've been fishing with him for a while now, and he's a lot of fun to fish with. So get out there, catch some springers, eat them. I know I want one. I might book a day just so I can eat one. I've only eaten 2 this year.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Thanks for
Wait,
watching.
don't leave yet.
Don't
Can't-
leave,
don't
don't.
say goodnight. One more last announcement. This Sunday, guys, this Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have a special limited edition Mother's Day drop. It is all dedicated to the moms out there. We have some really cool slogans that we come up with. I'll give you a sneak peek on one of them. One of the ones we did is "Every Day Mothers Slay." So we have some really cool, some super cool like catch lines that we came up with, some really cool stuff that we just designed for the moms out there. So if you want to get something for your mom or your grandma or whoever, if you have a special lady in your life that you like to take fishing, there's going to be some really, really cool stuff in this Mother's Day drop. So 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time this Sunday. It's a super limited, super small drop. There's only like 3 sweatshirts, a few hats. It's very, very small. So it's probably going to sell out quick. Check it out on our website this Sunday, 7 p.m. Can't wait for you guys to see it all. And that's all I got. You guys all good?
Yeah.
Cam was already trying to say goodnight, so.
Yeah, go check out my new website. We
I
just
gotta go
had
bed.
built, you guys, and let's go out and catch some fish.
There you go, riversideguide.com.